What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I probably just scared some of you guys who are eating lunch and all of a sudden started yelling at you, but I'm excited. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first two sessions so far. I've been looking at the comments and stuff, and it looks like you guys are liking it, so that makes me excited. And now I'm excited to dive into the actual presentation. So a couple things kind of set this up ahead of time. Number one, this is the biggest stage I've ever spoke on, so I was super nervous. So if I sound weird or nervous, especially at the very beginning, I probably was. So it's not like a trick or technique. I was actually really nervous. So that's number one. Number two, there's a lot of things that go into this, right? A really, really good offer, a really good presentation, a really good audience. Grant did an amazing job putting together an audience of amazing people, which helps a lot. The energy of the room was insane. Like, there's so many cool things that kind of came from it. And so there's a lot that goes into all these kind of things, but like when it all comes down to it, the fundamentals are the same. It's telling stories, making the irresistible offer, and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of it. So what the plan is, I'm going to kind of sit back, and this will be kind of fun. I'm going to push play. We're going to watch part of it, and I'm going to stop, and I'll come back. We'll talk about things, push play, back and forth, and hopefully it'll give you guys some good ideas, and we'll see what kind of comes from it. So I'm excited. You guys excited for this? All right, so I'm going to kick this off, and you'll see the intro first, and then we will go from there.
For the past 10 years, this man has built a following of entrepreneurs in the millions. He's sold hundreds of thousands of his books, popularized the concept sales funnels. He's co-founded the software company ClickFunnels that has gone to over 100 million and 55,000 customers in just 3 years. He is the king of funnels, the internet's favorite entrepreneur, affiliate marketing genius, container of expert secrets. He is an American storyteller. Ladies and gentlemen, bring to the stage with a thunderous 10x applause, Mr. Russell Brunson!
All right, I'm gonna stop there for the very beginning. So first, my hands are like sweating, reliving the moment and like the nerves and excitement. So I wanna start at the very beginning because this is something I didn't understand for a long time, but the way somebody presents you before you come on stage is huge. If you've read Persuasion or understand pre-framing or anything, like this has a lot to do with it. I used to just let the promoter introduce me however they wanted, and what I found a lot of times the promoter would get up there and be like, they have their little card, they're like, up next is Russell Brunson. Russell likes to whatever. Let's put our hands together for Russell Brunson. And they'll walk off and you're like, oh, and it takes you like 20 minutes just to get the energy high enough to get them excited. And so what I've done in the past, I have an intro video that introduces me, and if I don't think somebody's gonna be good at introducing me, then I have them introduce the video, I make them play the video, and the video introduces me, and I come through have the video introduce me. Because you have to control that pre-frame. You will see, Armin Morin actually told me this initially. He talked about like, depending on how he introduces someone has a huge effect on how they actually sell afterwards. And so that's a big thing. With this one, they wanted to introduce me, they wanted to do the way that they did it. Overall, it was really, really good. One thing I asked them that they didn't do is they said, everyone, let's give a warm welcome to Russell Brunson. You know, it's like some people stood up, some didn't. It was kind of awkward. Like for me, I always want, when I'm introducing anybody or if something introducing, I want people out of their chair. So I was like, stand up and put your hands together for Russell Brunson. I told them specifically to say stand up, and they didn't. But that just helps a lot because you get the right energy level. It's easier because it's hard to explain until you've been in a room. But like when you, like if I spoke at like a Dan Kennedy event versus like a Tony Robbins event, it's so different. Dan Kennedy event, you walk in and everyone's like half asleep in the back of the room, and you have to like, it takes you 20 minutes to get everyone excited enough that you can actually serve them. Whereas Tony Robbins, like they're going nuts, you walk right out into that energy level, and it's way easier. And so the intro is what sets that up for you. So make sure you control your intro either through your own video or coach the person to how to do it or whatever it is. Otherwise, it's a painful process to get the energy level up. Luckily, this room's insanely big and everything was really good, so it wasn't hard. But that's just something to kind of really consider. That pre-frame of how you enter has a huge thing to do with how people pay attention, what they buy, what they don't buy, and a whole bunch of stuff on top of that. So, all right, back to the video.
Thank you very much. This is amazing. First off, I want to thank Grant and his entire team for allowing me to be here and share my message with all of you guys. This is insanely cool. How many of you guys were at 10x last year? All right. After that event, they called me on the phone. They said, hey, Russell, we're going to do an event next year. We're trying to get 9,000 people in the arena. Do you want to come? And I was like, I don't think that's possible. And he's like, we're going to do it. I'm like, all right, we'll see. And here we are today. This is in the coolest thing in the world.
Oops. Of course I. Sorry, guys. So the reason I wanted to stop right there is a lot of this whole speaking thing is about rapport, right? And so people already have rapport with Grant. He was there, and so like my first thing I want to do is I want to like, because he has a rapport with them, I need to like leverage that and bring it in as well. Sean Stevenson spoke on my events. The smartest thing, he came on stage and spent the first like 20 minutes making fun of me because he knew I had the rapport of the audience. So he did that to get it to him, and it was really, really smart. I'm not as witty as Sean, unfortunately, but same kind of concept. Like I'm thanking him, congratulating him, like bringing this whole thing together, like trying to like get that rapport that he has with the audience already and bleeding it into what I am doing over here.
The coolest thing in the world. Now, I'm going to talk about some really fun, exciting things. I'm going to show you guys how to instantly outspend your competitors and ethically steal all potential customers in your market, which is going to be pretty exciting, right? But first, I want to do something really fun. Can everybody grab your phone and pull it outside of your pocket? I want you to all grab your phone, and I want you to turn on the flashlight and hold it up above your head. As we do this, we're going to dim the lights here in the room. Let's dim the lights down. All right, you guys. Look out over the, how cool is that? Now I want you guys to look around and see all these different lights out here. Every one of these lights, to me, represents an entrepreneur or salesperson. And for me, the only people in the world that are gonna change this world for the better are entrepreneurs and salespeople. And so for me, the reason why I'm here today, the reason I wanted to do this, because I know that for every single one of those lights out there, there's somebody, if I can help you to get your message, your product, your service out to more people, that's how the world's gonna change. And that's what we're gonna be doing today. And I'm so excited to be here. All right, with that.
Okay, some reason behind this. So number one, first off, don't copy this. Everyone's trying to do it now. It's my cool thing. I copied it from one of my friends. But one reason why we did this, I wanted the cool picture and the video from behind, which turned out awesome. So I'm not gonna lie, that was a big selfish motivator behind it. But a couple other things. Number one is I was trying to identify with the audience, right? I knew this group as entrepreneurs and salespeople, and so I wanted to talk about like I want to make them understand like they're in the right spot. I'm here to serve them. Like there's a super good connect of like why we're all here together. So that was number one. Number two, if you've ever seen, there's a documentary called Push, which is totally worth watching, and hopefully all you guys will watch it this weekend. But in the documentary, it's Darren, what's his name? I'm gonna blank out his name right now. But in this documentary, he's the guy who's famous. If you watch YouTube videos, where he'll get like mass group hypnosis. We get a whole bunch of people like at the train station, and he'll do something, they'll pass out and fall over and stuff like that. Anyway, he did a whole documentary, and again, it's called Push. And the premise of the documentary was, can we get somebody in a finite period of time, I can't remember if it's 60 minutes or 90 minutes, something like that. Can we get them using social cues, social pressure, and things like that to actually commit murder? So that's the premise of this documentary. And then and they set the whole thing up and they walk through how they did it, and they have 4 people go through this experiment, and 3 of the 4 people actually commit murder at the end of it in a short like 90-minute window, which is insane. Now obviously they didn't commit murder, they pushed somebody off of a cliff, and they all think that they committed murder though, and so people afterwards are bawling their eyes out, and then they're like, no, you didn't actually kill him. But they set up the social situation to be able to do that. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the kind of show I want to watch. So I started watching it, and it's crazy because if you watch what they do, like the way he was able to do this, to get somebody to go from 0 to murder in 90 minutes. Imagine if you can just do that with somebody, like, can you get them to buy your product in 90 minutes? Yes, you can, right? So that was kind of the premise of it. But it starts at the beginning with like asking people like simple things and getting people conforming to requests, to ideas, things like that. And then you start really small and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually you're asking for them to commit murder, right? Or to push someone. For me, it's to get the sale. So what I was doing right here initially is I'm trying to get everybody to that, when I'm asking them to do things, that they're doing it collectively as a whole, which builds rapport with me, builds rapport with everybody, and it starts the process of getting people to make these little commitments, right? So I'm getting everyone to pull their phone out of their wallet, they're all standing out of the pocket, standing up, turning the light on, everyone's got the lights happening at the same time, and all of a sudden I've got control now of the audience that fast, okay? And it sets up all the other stuff, builds rapport really quick, and does a whole bunch of other cool things. So that's kind of the reason behind that. So your guys' homework assignment tonight is go watch the documentary Push on Netflix, and you'll see how like they start the whole process with like little favors, little questions, and it go to bigger ones, bigger ones, bigger ones, until 90 minutes later they got something to push somebody off of a thing. And we're trying to do the same thing, except we're trying to get someone to buy something. So how can you use those same strategies here? And this is how I used it at the 10x event.
Said is how to instantly outspend your competitors and ethically steal all potential customers in your market. When I first wrote this headline, someone said, that's kind of aggressive, don't you think? I said, not for the 10X crowd. They're going to love this. All right. Now, May 6, 1965, something amazing happened. For decades and decades prior to that, human beings believed that it was physically impossible to break the 4-minute mile. But on that day, May 6, 1965, Roger Bannister did it. Now, what's interesting is, again, decades, centuries prior to that, nobody believed it was possible. But as soon as Roger Bannister did it, people thought it was possible. In fact, just 46 days later, John Landy, because he saw what Roger Bannister did, he thought, if he can do it, I can do it. In just 46 days, he did it, and he broke the 4-minute mile as well. And since then, dozens and dozens of people have done it. But it wasn't until one person did it that everyone else believed it was possible. August 17, 2004, was the day the 4-minute mile was broken for me. At the time, I was a young kid. I just learned about this whole internet thing. I was geeking out. I was making about $1,000 a month, and I thought I was the smartest guy in the world. And on August 17th, I was 24 years old at the time. This man, John Reese, he set out to do something that nobody thought was possible. He said, I'm going to make $1 million in a day. And he went out there and he put together the internet campaign, put a really cool funnel together. He launched it, and in just 18 hours, they passed the $1 million mark. Now, me as a 24-year-old kid is sitting there looking at this with my goals and aspirations were to make $1,000 a month online. And I was like, if John Reese, if this guy who's just like me, just like you, just like any of us, can make $1 million in a day, I wonder if I can make $1 million in a year. First time it ever crossed my mind. I was like, I don't even know if that's possible, but if John can do $1 million in a day, I think I can do $1 million in a calendar year. That was my goal. And so I started on January 1st, 2005. I said, okay, this is the year. I'm going to make it in a calendar year. And I launched all these different things. And in 12 months, I missed the goal. I didn't hit $1 million in sales. I got close, but I didn't hit it. That was 2005. 2006, I tried again. The January 1st, I was okay, I'm going to do $1 million in the next 12 months. I launched a bunch of stuff again, and I didn't make it again. And then the next year, it was January 2007, I launched it. And by October 16th, I crossed the $1 million mark in a calendar year. Thank you. Because John did it, I knew that I could do it. Now, since then, I've gone on and had multiple $1 million years, had $1 million months, and even $1 million days. But it wasn't until I knew that John could do it that I could do it. Now, for my community, in fact, how many funnel hackers do we have out here in the audience right now? Yeah.
A couple things. Oh, so many pieces I want to talk about, but I also, anyway. So notice this, a couple things happened. We talked about the creation of a mass movement, right? In fact, I think I have my doodle of it right here. Like, notice how I'm introducing these things at the very, very beginning, right? I'm introducing myself as a charismatic leader. Notice I didn't come and say, my name's Russell, like, I'm really famous. I made $1 million in a day, $1 million like, that's how most people would do it. I've been on Fox News, CNN, blah, blah, blah. Like, they'd be like posturing themselves so I look cool, right? I didn't do that. Instead, notice I slipped in that I had $1 million year, $1 million days, $1 million, and like I put it in there so like people know like, okay, this guy is legit, but I didn't talk about myself. Instead, I talked about this other thing, right? And I started talking about like my future-based cause. I started talking about like, I want to make $1 million in a year if I could do that. Like how amazing that would be. And I started talking about my future-based cause for me personally, right? Because this movement is just a reflection of me, right? So it's a reflection of like, of who I wanted to be. So like, this is me, introduce me, and like, this is my cause, and I wanted to do it. And now people are kind of coming on board with that, like, oh wow, like I want to make $1 million. As soon as you hear that first time, like, oh, can I make $1 million in a day? Like the thoughts and the questions that I ask myself, because we have rapport, I'm building rapport quickly. People have the same thoughts as well, and they're taking the same. Well, can I make $1 million a day? Like that would be pretty cool. Like, and a lot of them can't fathom it, but they're intrigued by that thought, right? And so I'm doing that. Now you notice what I'm doing right here is I'm trying another step to build more rapport, okay? Because obviously Grant knows who I am, but I want people to know like there's other people in this audience as well who know who I am, and people that are raising their hand. In fact, I have one of my friends who's a speaker. What he'll do is he'll find like the happy faces in the audience, and he'll walk out and like he'll go towards someone and he'll touch somebody on the shoulder who he's talking to who's like the happy face. And what happens is like, because there's like rapport here and here, it creates rapport around as well. It's kind of hard to explain or to understand, but it's true. So like when I'm getting all these people pop up their hands, but other people are seeing like, oh man, this person who's in proximity to me already has rapport with Russell, and it builds more rapport that fast as well, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a weird ninja thing, but that's one big reason. I knew we had a lot of our people out in the audience, so I'm doing that so that everyone else is like, some of the, I'm up on stage, so it might be hard to get rapport there, but it's like, hey, there's this person right here. In fact, Darren Stevens, one of my friends, he does this at his live events where he will work on getting rapport with like one person, and then he'll, or a couple people, and then he'll break into groups where those people are, and the people get rapport together as a group, and then come back from group work back to main work, and all of a sudden there's like rapport happening everywhere. So it's such a big thing, like Rapport leads to believability, it leads to all these other things. These are these little things I'm doing to try to build that rapport with the audience, because at the very first, if I come and ask them for money, they're not going to like me, right? Like I have to build that rapport first before I do it, okay? So now I'm going to ask about the funnel hackers, and then I'm going to introduce our movement's future-based cause right now. So now it's all of a sudden, it's not just like, oh, that'd be cool to make $1 million. And then like, oh, Russell made $1 million. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's all these funnel hackers, and a bunch of them have done it too. And it starts building the belief in this future-based movement from the very, very beginning.
My people, I love it. So for my audience, I was like, when I saw John Reese do it and I had belief that I could do it, it changed everything for me. So I said, I want to make something like this for my audience. And so we created an award last year. It was about 10 years later after this. We made an award called the 2 Comma Club Award. 2 comma means there's 2 commas in your paycheck. You made at least $1 million inside of a funnel. And we had the idea for this. I thought maybe we have a dozen people inside of ClickFunnels that had done it. I don't know. And I went and looked, and at the time we had 93 people. 93 people a year ago came on my stage and got an award that said they're in 2 Comma Club, meaning they made over $1 million in a funnel. Now, since then, at that event, there was a whole room of other entrepreneurs, and they were looking around and they said, that guy next to me made $1 million? And all of a sudden it became real for everybody. And since then, we're making there's over one person every single day who's become a millionaire inside of ClickFunnels. It's just happening every single day. Boom, boom, boom. It's insane. Now the coolest thing is that became the 4-minute mile, and I was like, well, what's the next 4-minute mile for my audience? And so this year at Funnel Hacking Live, for those who are going to be there, we're launching our 2 Comma Club X, which means you made at least $10 million inside of a funnel. And the coolest thing is that right now we have 15 entrepreneurs who've won that award. And what's going to happen, and thank you, you can clap for that, that's pretty amazing. My goal with this, though, is for everyone to see that and say, look, $1 million was a 4 mile, I got it. Now I'm going for 10, and then we're going for 100. It's pretty exciting. Now, 12 months ago at this event, there were a couple that were in the audience, sitting back in the front area here, named Alex and Layla Hormozi. Now, the time when they were sitting here, less than a year ago, they were going through a horrible business time. Businesses were collapsing, they were shutting things down, and wasn't sure what to do. After listening to my presentation, they're like, we're going to do a funnel, we're going to go all in. And unfortunately, they weren't able to make it here today, but I had Alex make me a quick 30-second video of him at the airport today, or yesterday, for all of you guys to explain what happened since then.
What's going on, GrowthCon? This is Alex. Last year, same time, I was sitting in the audience, and right after that, we launched our first funnel. And it's now been however many months since April, and we crossed the 8-figure mark. So what Russell was saying is real, it's legit, and you're truly one funnel away.
Isn't that awesome? Give him a round of applause.
Okay, so again, we've introduced the future-based cause. Also, with this audience, I know there's different levels of people, and some people are higher. So those who are past $1 million, I want to be like, oh, I'm already a millionaire, I don't need this. So we show the next level, right, is 10. And then I talked about 100, because I know there's people at different levels, and I want to make sure that all of them still have a goal they can be shooting for inside of what we're creating. Number 2, Alex and Layla were at the event the year prior. So I want people who, because I knew that last year's event had 3,000, this year had 9,000. So I'm like, there's going to be a lot of people there before who are coming back, and some of those people bought in the past. And I want those people to buy again. So if they haven't had success with it yet, I want them to know that somebody else who did follow this process did have success. So you need to go and buy it again, right? Excuse me. For number 2 is I want people future pacing themselves. Like, I'm here today. What's going to happen in a year from now? Like, in a year from now, I could be in the exact same spot, or I could do what Alex and Layla did. In a year from now, I can make $10 million. Like, I couldn't even fathom that. If I even get a fraction of that, that'd be amazing. Okay. So it's kind of twofold. One is I'm showing people who were here last year that the stuff worked, those who actually implemented it. And number 2 is I'm future pacing what could happen within the next 12 months from now, which is a big deal, because my goal is to come speak again next year, and I want to make sure that I can be like, this is the progress of what's happening. I do the same thing in my other webinar. If in my traditional webinar, I show a video of Trey Llewellyn shipping out like 30,000 boxes a day of product, and I show the footage, and Trey has the thing like, thanks to ClickFunnels, we're shipping out all this stuff now. And I say, Trey was on this exact same webinar a year ago. Some of you guys have seen this webinar before, haven't you? And you didn't do anything about it, and now you're back. So my goal is for you in a year from now to not come back and still not move forward. Like, I want you in a year from now to have success, okay? And for those of you guys who this is your first time on, imagine where you could be in a year from now. Imagine when you do what Trey just did, where you could be in a year from now. I don't know if it's gonna be 30,000 boxes a day, maybe it's 30,000 a year, but that's still a lot of money. But you gotta do what Trey did and take action, right? So I'm showing that backwards and forward in the future, in the timeline, right? Backwards where they could have been and forward where they're going, depending on who they are and where they're listening to this presentation at, okay? All right.
They didn't hit $1 million since April, they hit $10 million. They didn't go and dabble, they went all the way in. I want you guys to understand this, because the 4-minute mile has been broken for all of you guys. The process to 10x your company in the next 12 months has been proven by hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you. Many of them are sitting right now in the audience next to you. Okay? Now the vehicle to do this, my firmest belief, the vehicle that you guys need to have to be able to 10x your companies in the next 12 months is a funnel. And I'm gonna prove this to you over the next 90 minutes or so.
Okay, so it's the first time here I'm introducing a new opportunity. So notice we are 8 minutes in. I've introduced my attractive character, I have rapport. I've talked about the future-based cause, and now I'm introducing a new opportunity, all within the very first few minutes, okay? So they know, like, this is where Russell's going, is he's gonna 10x my business with the funnel. So they're fully aware of, like, this is why I'm here in this presentation, and now my job after I introduce this is to prove to them that, like, that is actually true.
I honestly believe there's not a company in this room that I couldn't take and within 1 or 2 funnels, 10x your company in the next 12 months. I don't care if you're at $100,000 a year or you're $100 million a year, we could do it, okay? And because of that, I want you guys all to believe that as strongly as I do. And after you believe that, I want you guys to make me a commitment. You guys cool with making a commitment with me right now? All right, this is the commitment. I'm gonna want you guys to commit to me that as soon as you know that funnels are the key to 10xing your company, I want you guys to go all the way in, okay? You guys okay with that? Okay, because I don't want any dabblers here. And I know I got to prove this to you, but I'm going to prove it to you beyond a shadow of doubt that funnels are the key to 10x your company in the next 12 months. I know it. I've done it. I've seen it over and over and over again. We can do it with every single one of you guys in here, okay? So what does going all in mean? Okay, these guys right here, they did not go all in. They were dabbling, okay? These guys right here, they went all in, okay? That's what I'm talking about, okay? This lady right here, she's not all in. She took off in the middle of the wedding. These guys right here, they're all in. This is what I'm talking about, okay? This guy right here, he kind of went all in. No, he didn't at all. This guy started going all in. This guy right here, he's all in, okay?
Okay, a couple things are happening right here. Number one, the last one here, I'm trying to get and build rapport with the person they already know, so I bring them in. But there was an old ad, the Wall Street Journal ad, that's famous, ran for who knows how long. But it was about like 2 people. If you've ever studied copywriting, I'm sure you've heard about this ad. Basically, it was like there were 2 people. They both graduated from the same school at the same time, and they didn't see each other for 20 years. 20 years later, they made a high school reunion, and they found the one person had worked in a nice corporation, had a good high-paying job. He was really happy, and the other person was a multi-millionaire. And looking from the outside, it looked like they were on the same trajectory, same path. The only difference between person number 1 and person number 2 is person number 1, they just did the normal thing, and person number 2 read the Wall Street Journal every day. And that was the difference between the whole thing, right? And that ad and that concept's been used a whole bunch of times. From Inner Circle, we've got it. One of our videos is based on that ad where it's Mike Stanzik. Him and his buddy both tried to join Inner Circle at the same time. They both committed, both signed up, and one of them dropped out. And then a year later, like Mike Stanzik had this successful business, the other guy hadn't progressed at all. So I'm showing that like those who don't dabble, like what's possible, and those who do. And that's kind of the goal of this in kind of a fun, different way, is to do that, and also build rapport with the person they already have rapport with.
That is what we're talking about. So what does it mean to go all in? Tony Robbins told me this. He said, if you want to take the island, what was that? Tony Robbins said, if you want to take the island, all right. So that's the plan, you guys. When you're all in, we're going to burn the boats. We're going to get you guys 10x in the next 12 months. I'm going to be back here next year. See, I just got Grant to invite me next year. And a bunch of you guys, most of you guys, if you follow this process, I promise you will 10x your company next 12 months. Now, at the very end of my presentation, I'm going to make you guys a very special offer. And in this offer, I'm going to give you guys everything you need to be able to 10x your company next 12 months. Okay? Now, I'm also doing something else. I'm actually going to ask you guys each to give me $11,552. Yeah, I love salespeople. You guys are like, I'm in. Okay? Some of you guys are looking at I'm going to give Russell $11,552, and some of you guys are freaking out. And some of you guys are like, if Russell can 10x my company, I'll give him whatever he wants, right? Okay? And what is 10x for you? Each of you guys' company is different, right? Some of you guys are 100 grand a year. If I can 10x your company, that's $1 million next year. Would you give me $11,552 if I can get you $1 million next year? All right. How many of you guys are at a million mark right now? Okay? That means if I get you $1 million, I can get you $10 million. Alex and Layla, it took us 8 months to get him there. Okay? Is that worth $11,552? Okay, if you're 10 million, I can get you to 100. We just passed $100 million in my company earlier this year. I know the process, I know the path, and we can do it through funnels, okay? So my question for you guys, would you give me $11,552 if I can guarantee that I'll 10x your company next 12 months? You guys good with that? All right, so here's the commitment. I need you all to repeat with me. Russell, I commit that as soon as I know that funnels are the key to me 10xing my company, I will go all in. All right, now I can share the good stuff with you guys, now that you're all in.
Okay, so there was the price marinade. I was so scared to do that. because I never actually seen it executed before, especially in this type of a 90-minute presentation. But you see the power behind it? Basically, I was showing like, look, I'm going to show you, I'm going to convince you this is the only way to 10x your business is this process. So what's the big result they want? The only way to get it is that. Okay, in the Expert Secrets book, we talk about this a little bit, or basically I had a slide at the very beginning of like, if I can get you to believe this, then you have to do this. And everyone always gets so, it's funny how people get so stuck up on that piece of it, but it's very simple. It's like, what's the result you're promising them? What is the new opportunity you're offering them? And if I can convince you this new opportunity is going to get your result, you're going to go all in, and then say, okay, this is what's going to cost, and then make that very simple. Like for me, 10x in your business goes from, if you're 100 grand, it's making millions. So give me 11 grand for a million? Yes. If your million is 10 is 100, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, 11 grand is actually really, really cheap if you actually can 10x my business. Okay, so they do the price mirror. Now I just got to come back and prove to them, beyond a shadow of doubt, that funnels are the key to 10x in your business. And if so, then they have to give me $11,000 because if they believe it, then they believe that's $1 million that I'm trading in for 11,000. And now it's like a no-brainer, right? So that's kind of the goal of the price mirror and how the whole thing all worked.
Okay, I want you to understand, you guys, every one of you guys in this room, you are literally one funnel away from 10x your company. Okay, the life you want, the marriage you want, the family you want is going to be fueled by the businesses we build. Okay, the funnels are the key. So for those who don't know me, my name is Russell Brunson. I am a serial entrepreneur with an obsession of helping entrepreneurs around the world. Nothing gets me more excited than that. I've had a chance to work with some of the most amazing people in the world. I built funnels for people like Tony Robbins, like Marcus Lemonis from The Prophet. How many of you guys actually watched the TV show The Prophet? Yeah. So last year, they actually had me on the show, and I had a chance to build funnels for one of Marcus's companies, and it was insanely cool. So this is something that is kind of on the new side, but man, it's starting to get more and more mainstream the more that I talk about this, okay? My entire goal is to get everybody to understand that sales funnels are the key to growing all of our companies, okay? So what is a sales funnel? For those who don't know, let me start actually with what you probably do know. Most of us know what a traditional website is, right? Okay, I always call this the anti-sales department. We send people these traditional websites, and what it's kind of like having a salesperson there, and when somebody comes, they hand them a brochure, and then they step back and they hope and they pray that the sale gets made. Now, how many of you guys know if you had a salesperson who's handing out brochures and then hiding, you would fire them instantly? Yeah. For some reason, we're okay with our websites doing nothing, right? Okay? For all of us who are entrepreneurs, who are spending our own money out of our own pockets to grow our companies, we have to be smarter. We have to build something where we put $1 in advertising in and instantly get $2 back out. Okay, and that is what a sales funnel is. A sales funnel is kind of like taking your very best salesperson that you have, cloning that person, and making it so that every single person that comes to your website, they grab them, they introduce themselves, they find out what they're interested in, take them to buy the actual product and service that they need to help grow and have more success. Okay, that is what a sales funnel is. Much better way to do it. Okay, now after 10 years of doing this business, you guys, I've tried a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I'm going to break it all down, very simple, very easy. And so you guys, because you're here today and you woke up this morning, you get to cheat and get it the easy way. How many of you guys want it the easy way? Yeah. All right. So let me show you the hard way, because funnels used to be hard. That's why nobody ever did them for the first decade of my game, because I was in this game, because they were hard to do. Okay, this is a sales funnel. I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes of this one. This is one of my supplement companies that we sold last year. Okay, now to build this funnel, it doesn't look that complicated, right? I took pictures and put them on my wall because I wanted to see what it all looked like. It's only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. You're like, that's probably pretty easy. Probably takes an hour or two, right? No. This is what we had to go through to create this. So step number 1 to create a funnel is we had to design the funnel, like the strategy. Like what's it going to be like? What's the upsells and the downsells and the price points to figure that out, right? Number 2, I had to write the copy. The copy is the sales letter. Now our supplement was helping people with diabetic neuropathy. I didn't know what that meant. In fact, I made a rule inside of my company. I didn't want anyone to explain to me what diabetic neuropathy was, so we made at least $1 million in the funnel. So I had no idea what we were even selling other than we knew it worked. And so I hired a copywriter to write the sales letter. It cost $20,000 for the sales letter. Then we hired a designer to design the sales letter, then a website designer to put it online, a programmer to hook the shopping carts and the autoresponders, get it all working, analytics person. My upfront cost to build this one funnel alone was $29,000. Okay? Now that's not too bad. The worst thing though is that I'd already ordered the supplements. They were sitting in a warehouse gathering dust for 8 weeks. That's all it took us to build it. 2 months for me to build this funnel. Then we had a chance to finally launch it, and it was awesome. But that's why most people have struggled in this business for so long. My goal today is to help free you as an entrepreneur and as a salesperson to generate your own leads, to make your own sales without being tied down by tech people. Okay? And in fact, I'm going to build an entire funnel with you guys in under 10 minutes. Actually, I did it this morning. It takes about 6. So you're gonna see how fast and how easy this actually is, okay? Now, people who have figured this process out, we call these people funnel hackers, okay? So that's why who are my funnel hackers again? Let's hear it. All right. So these are my funnel hackers. Now I want to introduce all of you guys to become funnel hackers with me. So last night, my entire team spent 2.5 hours here putting bags on your chairs with this thing right here. The big thing that says, warning, don't open until Russell Brunson's presentation begins. How many of you guys already opened it? Come on now. All right, now is the time to open it. When you guys open this up, I've got some cool stuff in here to help induce you guys into our funnel hacker movement. First thing there is the pop socket. We're gonna use these here in a minute. Pop socket you put on the back of your phone. It pops it out, and then you can hold your phone like this, which is really good for what we're gonna do here in a few minutes. There's also stickers to put on your laptop and on your phone saying, I build funnels. You guys are all funnel builders now. And then what I want you to grab out there right now, this is your note sheet. I want you guys taking notes. I get really excited. I talk really, really, really fast. So everyone grab your note sheet. You're gonna pull it out. You're gonna take notes on this as I go through my presentation today, okay? All right, so with the note sheet, I'm gonna dive right in here to secret number 1. This is where you can take notes as I'm going through here, okay? So I'm gonna cover 3 secrets of funnel hack.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause real quick because that was the intro, okay? In the intro, we are 16 minutes in. Remember I told you about 15 minutes? I was almost within a minute of, and actually about a minute intro, so it was almost exactly 15 minutes for me to do the very first thing I'm doing, origin story, rapport building, and notice a bunch of things that happen in that minute, right? So in the very beginning, like I'm telling, here's the backstory, right? I start with telling my John Reese story about how there's this young kid, I want to make money, and I'm going through this thing, and then there's the wall, and the epiphany, we make funnels, and then I start talking about conflict in funnels, like cost a lot of money, and there's expensive and all sorts of stuff, but the back of it with these big companies, and it's been amazing. So I kind of told the very first one. Now, that was weaved in there. Most of you guys probably didn't even see it. And I didn't hit 100% of everything. Like I didn't go through journey of transformation yet, but I will in other parts of the presentation. But you see how the story's weaved in there? And now it's like, man, people know who I am. They have a relationship. I've made fun of myself 3 or 4 times already, which helps a lot to build rapport. We've done a whole bunch of really fun things and we had a good time. Now you saw how I sneak attacked out the sales letter, order forms, and the pens to everybody. The other thing I want to mention as well, if you noticed, is in the Epiphany Bridge script, or in the first origin story, I also did all 3 things here. I did the charismatic leader, I introduced the future-based cause, talked about the new opportunity that I'm presenting to them, and then now I even told them hey, you guys are all now funnel hackers. You all have these pens, you have these things now. You're part of this movement with us. Okay, and now they're part of something, and we're only 16 minutes into this thing. Okay, before I ever really explain to them exactly how it works and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce the 3 secrets. So secret number 1, secret number 2, secret number 3. Secret number 1 is about the vehicle, number 2 is about the internal beliefs, and number 3 is about the external beliefs. So I introduce them so they know kind of where we're going. Notice that as I introduce them, I didn't just say, your false belief is that funnels aren't gonna work for you. Your next false belief is that they're gonna be too hard for you. The third false belief is that you don't know how to get traffic. Like that's not gonna keep people interested or engaged or excited, right? It's all about raw curiosity. So notice that I make little headlines for each of the different components of secret 1, secret 2, secret 3, and then make you wonder what's he gonna talk about? It gets you curious. Your curiosity is the key that keeps people's attention and focus because they wanna know what each of the things are. So I'm introducing, this is where we're going, and I'm gonna dive right into secret number 1, where we're gonna destroy all false beliefs that they have that the funnel is not the right vehicle for them, okay? All right, let's jump right in.
Secret number 1, if you guys understand this will give you the ability to get unlimited leads for free for the rest of your life. I'm gonna show you guys that whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. This is the foundation of funnels, and when you understand this, everything else becomes really, really, really easy. Whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. Number 2, I wanna show you guys how to get the best salesperson on planet Earth to close sales for your product 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the best thing about the salesperson is they never complain, they never ask for a raise, they never take a break. Now, I am a salesperson just like most of you in this room, and what I've noticed about most of us salespeople, we're kind of high maintenance. We always want to get paid more, we want better leads, we want more stuff, right? Okay, the salesperson I'm about to introduce you guys to doesn't do any of that stuff, and it works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the last thing I'm gonna show you is how to get all of the customers who are currently going to your competitors to start coming to you instead. And it's gonna be really fun. So let's dive right in. So secret number 1, whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. Now this is the key to understand, you guys. I learned this from one of my first mentors, Dan Kennedy. He said that business beats his competition by making the exact same prospect worth more to his business than to that of his competitors. Whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. I'm gonna jump into this so you guys understand. So I launched my company ClickFunnels about 3 years ago. When we did it, it was me and a couple of dudes in an office, we were a little tiny office, and all we had was a vision of how to change the world. That was it, okay? We had no money, we had no venture-backed capital, we had nothing like that. We just had a dream and a vision. Okay. Now, as we were developing this company, this is us literally whiteboarding ClickFunnels on the wall, and these guys coding it while I was just getting excited because I don't know how to code. I'm just excited all the time. And they were working on it. At the time, we're like, well, who's our competitors? Who are we competing against? And I found these are our two competitors. The first competitor got $38 million in funding, and the second one got $127 million in funding. And I'm like, all right, well, that's what I'm going up against. I literally have a visa with a $1,000 limit on it and a dream and a vision. How am I going to win? Okay? All these guys can completely outspend me. Yet we were able to take ClickFunnels from zero to over $100 million in sales in just 3 years, demolishing both of those two competitors without taking on a penny of outside capital. Thank you. Thank you. Now, since we've started doing this, we have a whole bunch of venture capitalists who keep coming and like, Russell, can we give you money? I'm like, no, why would I take your money? Like, I want my customers to give me money. That's the way business should happen. And they keep trying to give us money. And finally one day I was just curious. I'm like, they kept talking about valuations. I'm like, well, I want to see what they think we're actually worth. I had no idea. Like, this is a whole world that's beyond me. I just know how to sell stuff. And so we went to lunch with one of these VCs, and they started asking me all these questions. And he said, okay, how much does it cost to acquire a customer? That's question number one, right? If you guys watch Shark Tank, they always ask that, like, what's the cost to acquire a customer? And I was like, well, when we drive ads, we buy a bunch of ads and we drive them to clickfunnels.com. It costs us about $120 to get a free trial. And the guy was like licking his chops. He's like, okay, so if we gave you $50 million in funding, that equals X amount of customers, and doing all the math in his head. And I was like, whoa, slow down. I was like, we actually turn those ads off. He's like, what? Why would you turn those ads off? Like, you're acquiring customers $120 a person. That's awesome. I was like, because I have to pay for those. Like, I have to pull my wallet out and pay for every one of those customers. Like, I can't float $120 for every free customer who signs up. And he's like, so what do you do? And I said, well, I didn't want to be broke. So we had to do things different. We had to think smarter about things. So I said, this is how we do it. We run ads, and I don't sell ClickFunnels up front. Instead, what I do is I drive people to a sales funnel. Now, I've got a whole bunch of sales funnels, about 5 or 6 sales funnels we use right now. We drive people through and we sell different things. How many of you guys have purchased one of my books? All right, you guys have been through the funnel then, okay? On average right now, it costs about $20 in ads to sell one copy of my book. Now, you guys know I give away my book for free plus shipping. But the cool thing is that when someone buys, they go through this funnel. So that means there's an upsell, there's a downsell upsell, the audiobook upsell, training program, a bunch of things like that. So right now, on average, I spend $20 on ads to sell a book, and I make about $40. So what just happens is that I get $20 cash net profit into my pocket, and I get a customer, and then I tell the customer, hey, there's really cool software called ClickFunnels, you should try it. And they try it for free. And it doesn't not only does it not cost me $120 to get a customer, I got paid $20 before I even told that customer about what I'm trying to sell them. You guys getting this? So the VC didn't. I explained it once. I explained it a second time. He's like, wait, I don't understand. So people pay you to become a lead, and then they read your book and they're completely indoctrinated into your belief system, and then they sign up and it doesn't cost you anything. I'm like, yeah, it's really awesome. And he's like, 3 or 4 times, and finally I remember the very last time he said, if what you're saying is true, this will change business as we know it forever. I said, yeah, that's my mission. That's what I'm trying to tell people. You understand? This one funnel was worth more to me than $127 million in funding. We blew past both of these companies in less than 3 years. That's the power of sales funnels. All right, really quick, I want to jump in and just, if you notice what I just did, because it's pretty ninja cool, is now in people's mind, they believe that a funnel is worth $127 million, right? I'm always trying to price anchor things together, like, because if people think that your stuff's worth $20, that's what they're going to spend. They think it's worth $1 million, they're going to spend more, right? So I just proved that, like, you could get $127 million in VC funding, or you could just get a ClickFunnels account and it'll do it better and smarter and more profitably, right? So we're trying to, like, price compare, like apples to orange comparisons, right? It's not an apples to apples comparison. It's like there's an orange over here and this, but I'm showing like it's very similar between these two things. You can have a ClickFunnels account or $127 million in funding. Either way, that's how you got to grow a company. So pick whichever one you want. This one's like you can get a free trial, right? It's a lot easier. So I'm making them believe, and I think it's true, but I'm making them believe that by telling them the story that this is the value of what an actual funnel is. Okay, my whole goal again, this whole presentation of secret number 1 is to get them to believe that this is the right vehicle for them. They want to really 10x their company, that a funnel is the vehicle. So this story that I'm telling here is the whole goal of the story is to get them to believe that funnel, that's the key. Like, it's not, I don't need to take on $100 million in funding. I don't need to hire a big sales team. Like, I just need a funnel. If I had a funnel, that's how I'm going to get to where I want to go. That's how I'm going to get that end result, right? And so I'm doing that through this story, as you can tell. And I got some other sub stories I'll tell in here as well. But that's, again, the whole goal of secret number 1 is get them to believe
that this vehicle, funnels, my new opportunity that I'm offering them, that this is the key to them getting that result. And I got to get them to believe that. So I'm trying to, best I can, tell these stories, get them to believe, like, yes, I have to have a funnel. Like, that's the key. If I don't have a funnel, I'm screwed. That's what I need them to believe going through this process.
Thank you. So this is the best secret, you guys. When you have a funnel that's created the right way, you can instantly outspend your competitors and ethically steal all potential customers in your market. Even with my competitors dumping as much cash as they can, my ads are still burying them. They're everywhere. How many of you guys have seen my ads every single time you turn on anything? Hey, tonight when you go to your hotel room, turn on the TV. We bought all the ads on the TV as well. Everyone.
And that's the kind of side story. We found out you can actually buy the hotel video feed. So like when everyone back to the hotel that night, they turned on their TV, there's me with my copy of my book, and it's on fire. Like, my book is literally on fire. It's awesome. And it's like, they saw me on a loop for 4 days on every single channel, which helped push sales afterwards. In fact, it was funny. I was at the event trying to buy something from the concession stand, and the lady's like, she was like Jamaican, I think. She was like, your book is on fire. And I'm like, yeah. That was not a Jamaican accent. That was horrible. Anyway, I'm like, yep, that was me. She's like, I saw you on TV all night. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of funny. So anyway, that was just another idea. But yeah, that was a really cool thing we did. I thought it was pretty funny.
In the room block here, you will see my ads all over TV as well. We can outspend everybody. Okay, that's the key. So question for all of you guys, lots of different business types, and there's 9,000 people. You all have different businesses. The question I'm gonna get from most of you guys is, what kind of funnel should I use? And it depends on the kind of business you have. So I kind of went through and we segmented before I came here to figure out all the different markets you guys are in. We broke it down to about 10. Okay, the first one are people that have either run an agency or they're a freelancer. How many guys does that fit who you are? There we go. Number 2, people selling information products. Number 3, people selling e-commerce products. Number 4, people doing coaching or consulting. Number 5, people that are network marketing. Number 6, local businesses doing anything from chiropractic, dental, that. A lot of big business-to-business people just looking for leads to generate. We've got a whole bunch of people who are bloggers or affiliate marketers. We've got nonprofits, and then we've got a bunch of people who are just getting started. Is that kind of stuff for all you guys? Does that cover everybody?
Okay, the reason why I'm doing this is in a perfect world, again, when I'm doing one-on-one selling, right? I can be like, what's your business? They tell me, cool, let me show you how funnels work for you. But I'm in a room of 9,000, it's mass selling, I can't do that. And in a perfect world, I'd create a special presentation for every business type and show it to them, but I don't have that opportunity. So I hook them the idea of a funnel, but now I gotta prove to them that a funnel is actually for their specific business. One of the biggest problems I had at the first 10x event that I solved in the second one is after the first 10x event, I did the close, we sold a bunch of people in the hallway. I got asked probably 100 times, like, hey, will funnels work for like B2B? And I was like, yes. Like I literally in the old presentation was like, it works for this and this and this and this, but I didn't say these 3 magic letters, B2B. And because of that, I probably lost 100 times 2,000, so $200,000 in sales plus, because I didn't say the word B2B, because that segment's like, it's not for me. So I'm trying to show them like this works for every business in here, trying to make it all inclusive. So I show the 10 sub-markets that pretty much touch almost everybody I can dream of, and I'm gonna go even deeper with that, because I need them to all believe like, yes, this funnel thing is for me. Okay. Again, that's the difference between selling one-on-one that you have to do different in mass. Is like I have to group all the different people in and bring them in and get them to believe it all at once. Okay. So that's kind of how I did. I brought them all in once, and you'll see I'm gonna do some more stuff to make them all believe that no matter what business type they're in, that it's gonna work for them.
Hopefully, there's no one I missed, right? So I want you to understand that you guys remember the commercial from back in the 90s when the iPhone first came out, and they're like, "There's an app for that. Oh, you need this? There's an app for that." Okay. Just like there's an app for that, I promise you, there's a funnel for that. Whatever business you're in, there's a funnel for that. Okay? So the question then is, how do you know what type of funnel to build? Okay? And we do that, we figure out what that is through a very fun, simple process that we call funnel hacking. That's where you guys all get your new nickname. Okay? So let me explain how funnel hacking works. I learned, the first part of this I learned from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins told me, he said, if you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those who've already succeeded, right? Now I started thinking back in my career, things I've been good at. And I was a wrestler growing up. How many wrestlers do we have in the room? Yeah, anyone want to wrestle? I would much rather do that right now up here. All right, let's go. Okay, so I was a wrestler, and when I first got started, I was not only not good, I was bad. My first year, I got beat almost every single time. I remember at the end of the season, my dad took me to the state tournament. And the state tournament, one of the guys on my high school's team won the state title. He was a 3-time state champ. My dad videotaped what he did, and we watched it. And that whole summer, we would watch the video of this guy, and my dad would teach me the moves that he was doing. So all summer long, I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. I found someone who's good, I modeled them. In a very short period of time, I went from being a really bad wrestler to being a state champ, to going to high school nationals, taking 2nd place in the country and becoming an All-American, eventually going to college, being one of the top 10 wrestlers in the country. Okay? Thank you. Not because I was an amazing wrestler, but because I found people who were super successful and I modeled what worked. When I started business, it was the same thing. I went to college to wrestle. People asked my degree, and I was like, my degree's in wrestling. I didn't even know the classes were there. I barely graduated. And towards the end of it, I started learning about this internet thing. I didn't take business classes, I didn't take entrepreneur classes, I didn't take any, I just knew that I wanted to make some money. I jumped online, I started seeing people who are successful. I'm like, man, these people are geniuses. I don't know how to do what they do, but I can see what they're doing, and I'm just gonna model them. So I started modeling what they were doing. And within a year of graduating from college, I made over $1 million online. Okay? The same thing is true in sales funnels. You guys don't have to be sales funnel geniuses. You don't have to geek out like I do every single day. All you gotta do is look around and find someone in your industry or in a similar industry who's having success, and then we model them, okay? And every time I share this, I get somebody who's like, well, that's cool, Russell, but I got a better way to do it. I got a different thing I can do instead. And I always smile at those people and I say, you can always tell who the pioneers are because they've got arrows in their back and they're lying down, face down in the dirt, okay? In this industry, you don't wanna be a pioneer. You don't want to go try things. First time I ever got this, I was actually at an event, and there was a guy on stage. His name's Porter Stansberry, and Porter worked for a company called Agora Publishing. How many of you guys know about Agora? They do over $1.5 billion a year selling financial newsletters, biggest financial newsletter company in the world. Okay, and he says, and Porter's up there on stage. He ran a division called Stansberry Research, which was the biggest division at the time, and he's going through all his numbers, his metrics. He's showing his sales funnels. I'm like a little kid in the back, like, I can't believe he's telling me this stuff. I was freaking out, right? Taking notes and everything. He's talking a million miles a minute, and all of a sudden he stopped. He said, you know what's interesting? He said, every single year there's people who see what we're doing here at Agora Publishing, and they want to compete against us. So he said, the first thing they come out and they try to beat us on pricing. So they come in and they sell their product for cheaper. He's like, we know from decades of doing this that you cannot make those numbers work. The metrics just don't work. He said, so then they figure that out eventually. They try something different. They try 3 or 4 things. Eventually they go bankrupt and they lose their business. Okay? The biggest thing that kills entrepreneurs is that not that they don't have vision, they do have vision, but usually they either run out of time or money before they have the ability to execute on the vision. Okay? And Porter said at the time, like, if you want to compete with Agora Publishing, you can't try to compete with us. He said, you got to copy us. And that's when the light bulb went off my head. I thought, man, Agora's got hundreds of full-time copywriters writing copy, split testing things. If I want to go and try all those things, I don't have the money, I don't have the budget to do that, but I can go and look at like all of the pioneers that had all the arrows in the back and over here, like, where are they today? Oh, they're right here. Oh, that's what's working today. I should just model that. And that's what we do. Okay? That's the way of success so quickly is by finding people who have already succeeded and we model them. Okay? All right. So step number 1 in this funnel hacking process is find somebody to funnel hack. So when we were launching our supplement company, again, it's my first supplement company, and we were selling to people who had diabetic neuropathy, and I was doing some research like, well, who else out there is having success? There's gotta be somebody. And we found this little website right here. I remember going to and looking at it, I was like, this is probably the ugliest website I think I've ever seen in my life. It's all purple and black and weird. But I did some research and some intel, and I found out about at the time that they were making about $100,000 a month selling the supplement. I was like, okay, cool. They know what they're doing, but I'm a marketing guy, so I'm gonna do it better because I know a better way to do it. And then I was like, wait a minute. Maybe they have some arrows in their back. Like, I don't know what people with diabetic neuropathy like. Maybe they know something I don't know. So instead of trying to be creative and do my own thing, I said, look, I'm just gonna model what works. So I went out with my very first version of our sales page. It looked very similar. Like, one thing I wanna stress is that notice that I said model, we didn't copy. Okay? I modeled the look, the feel, the layout, the price points. Like they had a big logo on the left-hand side, I had a logo. They had a phone number right-hand side, I had a phone number. They had a sales letter, the picture of the bottle. I modeled the look, the feel, the layout as close as I could. I didn't copy anything, but I modeled the structure. And we launched this in a very short period of time. This little website started making us about $20,000 a month. Okay? Which is cool. And then I was like, oh, there's gotta be something else they're doing that I'm missing. Like, what is it? How are they having so much success? And so I did what every good entrepreneur has to become good at doing. I pulled my wallet out of my pocket, pulled my credit card out, and I bought their product. Like, what are they doing behind the scenes that I'm missing? Now, unfortunately for me and also for them, they didn't have much on the back end and it just kind of ended. I was like, God, there's gotta be somebody out here who knows what they're doing in this industry. So I went outside and I started looking for other companies. And eventually I found a supplement company and I met the owner of it, and they were doing about $30 million a month selling their supplement. I'm like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Went to the website, it looked different. It looked like this. There was this video, an add to cart button. I'm like, this is kind of weird. I clicked on the button, it took me to an order form like this. And on the order form, remember, they offered 1, 3, or 4 bottles. And I was like, that's weird, I've never seen something like that. And then I was like, okay, I gotta see what else they're doing behind the scenes. So I did what every good entrepreneur has to become good at doing. Pulled my credit card out of my wallet, and I bought the product. Now what's crazy, I went to the next page. On the next page, he upsold me 6 more bottles of the exact same thing I just purchased. I remember looking at it thinking, does this guy think I'm a drug addict? There's 10 bottles of this stuff. Like, I don't know how to do that. And at first I was like, this guy's crazy. Like, I'm a marketing guy, I know better a better way to do this. And then luckily for me, I took my pride, hung it up on the shelf, and I said, maybe they've got some arrows in their back. Maybe they know something I don't know. So I'm just gonna go through the process and observe. So I went through and this was their funnel. Those 5 pages, you guys are making them $3 million a month. So then I looked at that, I said, okay, now I know what I need to create. Now I have my business model, my business plan. And so I took I'm going in front of a whiteboard. I'm a big whiteboarding guy like most of us, and I whiteboard out, okay, this is what I need to create if I'm gonna be successful in this market. It's funny, people always come to me with like their business plans, like 85 pages. I'm just like, can you just doodle it on a napkin like this? Because that's the business model for me. That's the business plan. So there's my business plan. Then we log into ClickFunnels and we build out the pages. So I modeled the look and the film layout. I didn't copy anything you'll notice, but I modeled the look, the feel, the layout, the price points, the structure. So this is the first page of mine. Then I had an order form with 1, 3, and 4 bottles, just like they had. And then I had an upsell with 6 more bottles, the exact same thing, and then I had 2 other products. And so the process looked very, very similar. Okay? Now, what's cool is after we finished this page, built this funnel out, then we launched it, and this little funnel went from making $20,000 a month to almost $20,000 a day. You guys getting this? Like, it is insane how easy it is. People like me, there's people out there who are already doing this. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Can I pause real quick? By the way, did you notice the trial closed at the very end? Are you guys getting this? You guys getting funnels? Like, this is the key. Anyway, what I want to share is like, this is like my first really solid Epiphany Bridge story in here, okay? And I want to stress it out because what a lot of us do is we just tell people the answer, right? Like, hey, so I went online and figured out the secret is funnels. Like, I could have said that, it would take me like 30 seconds. But instead, what I did is I talked about how I had the Epiphany Bridge, right? Like, how did I figure that out? Like, I want to launch a supplement company, and I tried this, and I take them on the same journey that I went on to be able to go through this process. And then my goal is, instead of me saying, I had this big aha that I needed a funnel, I told this whole story about the experience, what happened when I went through and all the stuff, and how much money they're making, and the things I found out. And the end of it, then my goal is for them to be like, man, I need a funnel. I want them saying that. I don't want to tell them they need a funnel. I want them to hear the Epiphany Bridge story about my epiphany, what happened, how we actually, and then we executed the end of it. When we had the, when we had the achievement at the end and it actually worked, like, they see that and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I think I need a funnel for my business. Like, that's my goal in this story, is to give them the thing that they need so they have that epiphany, right? That's the Epiphany Bridge we talked about earlier, okay? Notice a couple things too I'm gonna stress and we'll jump back into it, is like, notice how many stories have I told so far? There's a story about the arrows in the back with Porter Stansberry. There's a story about Tony Robbins and modeling. And I told my wrestling story. I told my business story. And then I've told the story about my supplement company and the journey we went on to figure out how to actually sell it. And when we figured out how simple the answer actually was. And I've told 4 or 5 stories in here. But how many of you guys who watch this feel like, oh, he's just telling stories, he's not teaching anything? Like, no, I'm telling stories, and through these stories, I'm talking about the big ahas I had. I'm talking about these epiphanies. I'm showing you the journey I went on, and you're having the same things. And people are learning it. Like, you're learning the process. Like, oh my gosh, I need a funnel. They're learning like what I do. Like, I go in there and you buy their product, and I see what it is I actually need to make. Okay, so I'm going through the what. I'm telling stories. I'm building all intrigue and curiosity and all this stuff. But I'm not saying, okay, this is the secret, guys. The secret of building a business is funnels. You need a funnel, okay? So step number 1 when you build a funnel is you need a squeeze page. Now, a squeeze page is gonna do this thing, and you're gonna increase the conversion rates by these 3 things here. And then they're gonna opt in, and then if they opt in, take it to the sales page. Now, the sales page, we're gonna have a headline right here and a video right here. Because as soon as I do that, I'm teaching, right? This is what I need to get people to understand it. No, because they're gonna get so caught up in the technical details, they'll be like, I don't know what to do. But if I can get them to believe, man, I need a funnel. Like, whatever it takes, I need to have a funnel. Like, if I can get them to believe that, and take away the false belief that whatever else they think they're going to use to get their 10x in their business, if I can destroy that, and so that for them it's like, this is the only, this is the best, most viable option for me to get the result I want, then they're going to go and they'll geek out on all the other stuff, right? But I'm not going to waste my time with them right now trying to teach them step by step of the whole thing, because if I do that, I'll lose them and they won't do it anyway, okay? But I want to stress that because a lot of people, like, just again the other day, someone told me that, like, I tried the perfect webinar style, Russell, but someone complained that I just was telling stories, not teaching. Like, you're teaching through the stories. I'm teaching the what, not the how, okay? And that's what gives people epiphanies and ahas and like the big breakthroughs they need to be able to actually go and work with you so you can actually implement this long term, okay? So anyway, hope that kind of helps, and hope you're paying attention to these stories as they're coming through, because there's multiple. They're happening all over the place. Some are longer, some are shorter, but they're all weaved in there together, okay? So for you, again, it's like, if my goal is to get somebody to believe, like, again, secret number 1 here is all about getting them to believe that this vehicle is the key. For me, it's funnels. For you, it might be ketosis. It might be this new watch. It might be the phone. It might be whatever it is you're selling. Like, what are all the stories you have to get them to believe that? And you weave them together into a really cool storyline. And that's the secret. That's the magic behind this. Okay. And hopefully you're seeing it here with how I do my stories here. Okay. You should find what's working, and then we model it. Okay? Now, the coolest thing about this for me is that my total investment to get over $1 million worth of funnel hacks from all these people, seeing exactly what they're doing, was under $100. I just had to be willing to pull my wallet, or my credit card out of my wallet and buy the product to see what happened. Okay? I want to share with you a really quick video. This is one of my friends,
Drew Canole and his partner Jamel, they own a company called Organifi. And after I launched my supplement, they were about to launch a new one. Like, what do we do? How do we do it? And I was like, you guys should just copy me. And so this is a really quick, like 30-second video of him explaining what they did to launch Organifi. Check out this video.
So real quick backstory, I had a chance to go out and spend a little while with these guys in their company, and they were about to launch a new supplement. And they're like, hey, look at our funnel, what should we do? And I was like, just copy mine. It works really, really good. So I'd love for you to kind of talk about what happened when you guys did your funnel and then some of the results that have happened since then.
Yeah, I'd like to re-emphasize his point about just cloning and copying and modeling what works. So we are a digital product company. We have information products, coaching products, and we were doing about $1 million a year. And I manage all the sales funnels and sales optimization. And we were going to come out with a physical product line. And we're like, who's done this before? Who's been really successful? We reached out to Russell. He helped us model exactly NerdSell. Actually, it's funny because I'm looking at what you modeled, and I had the exact same reaction. The first upsell that we have in place is more of the same thing that they just bought. And we were like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So we sold them a bottle of our new product called Organifi. Our first one-time offer was 3 more bottles after they already bought that. And the take rate was like 20 or 30%. Then we thought, Russell actually mentioned, we should implement subscription on everything. So we had 3 options. We modeled exactly Russell's first sales page. 1 bottle, 3 bottles, 4 bottles, modeled his pricing, 47, 129, 149, exactly the same. Sorry for stealing everything, but it works.
I love it. It's still away.
Yeah. And then once we implemented all the pieces, in actually like a week, which is crazy, we matched his results. We're doing, am I allowed to say the numbers or? Yeah.
I hope so. I want to hear them.
Yeah.
Who wants to hear his numbers?
Yeah.
I want to hear his numbers. Let's hear them.
So the first day that we opened up the gates, we did 12,000 in sales. The second day we did 34,000. The third day we did 36,000. And that was just, opening the gates. And every single day after that, we've done around 15 to 20,000 because of the way that the funnels are structured. So it's really exciting. And we owe a lot to Russell. I mean, he came out, he helped us with our funnels. He broke down everything we were doing wrong, everything we were doing right, and showed us exactly what they did. And we just copied it, and it works. So
that's awesome. Give him a round of applause.
So thank you,
awesome.
Russell. Yeah.
All right, now what's cool is this happened a little while ago. So fast forward. So he said that before they launched this funnel, they're doing $1 million a year. It was crazy. Year number 1 after they launched this funnel, unfortunately we didn't 10x their business. We 20x'd it. They did $20 million in that funnel year 1, and it's grown since then. So you guys are 1 funnel away from 10x your company. I promise you that. Every single one of you guys, it's just, you're that close. So who do funnels work for? Again, they work for all of the different businesses we talked about: agencies, freelancers, info products, e-commerce, coaching, consulting, network marketing, local businesses, B2B lead generation, blogging, affiliates, nonprofits. If you're just getting started, this is the way to start. Okay? I'm gonna go through these. Some of you guys are like, I don't see how this works for me, so I'm gonna give you guys some examples. So if you run an agency or you're a freelancer, this is an example of one of our friends. They live in the Philippines, and I have a lot of Filipinos who work for me doing different projects, and the average Filipino, they're what they make per month is a couple $100. Okay? The lady that runs this site, she is almost the point where she's about to pass $100,000 in sales, getting people for her agency through this thing. She's one of the richest people there now, right? Okay? All by using a very simple thing. We were generating leads, then the video sells them, and then getting signed up for her agency. Okay? If you're selling information, how many of you guys out here are selling information products of any sort? Okay? If you're selling information products, this is one of my info product funnels. Okay? This is where I sell my books. We upsell our audiobooks, courses, things like that. Okay, this funnel in the last 8 months has sold over 100,000 copies of my book and drove thousands and thousands and thousands of people into ClickFunnels. Okay, so if you're selling information products, you should funnel hack this funnel. This is the process. How many of you guys are selling physical products, e-commerce related stuff? Okay, this is one of Trey Llewellyn's, one of our members. He had a couple of Shopify stores selling a bunch of stuff, and one of his Shopify stores was selling flashlights. And it was one of his duds that wasn't working. And he was moving offices, and they had a whole bunch of, a whole closet full of these flashlights. And he told those guys, just throw it up on Click, build a funnel, just launch it, let's see what happens. He took this, threw it up on ClickFunnels, shifted it from an e-commerce storefront to buy the flashlight, upsell battery packs, upsell warranties, things like that. This funnel did $20 million in the first 6 weeks after it launched. That crazy? Right now he's got the record for the fastest, biggest funnel inside of ClickFunnels, and it was all selling flashlights. Okay? How many of you guys are selling coaching or consulting of any matter? Life coach, business coach, finance coach, things like that. Okay, this is my coaching funnel. This coaching funnel, it costs me on average to generate a lead about $30 to $40 to generate a lead. And then on the back end, we make about $1,500 for every one of those leads that happen, okay? This little funnel is a side business I have on the side. I've got one salesperson who calls those application leads, okay, and does over $2.5 million a year just on the side through a coaching funnel. So if you're a coach or a consultant or you're trying to generate any kind of leads that are going to become pre-qualified, you should funnel hack and model this style of funnel. That's how it works, okay? How many guys are network marketing? All right, my network marketers. In fact, this is, I didn't tell him, Stephen Larson is actually out in the audience here somewhere. There he is right there. So Stephen is network marketer, okay? He doesn't talk to friends and family, okay? He still has friends and family now. It's pretty awesome because he drives people through a network marketing funnel. He gets people to come to this page. He pre-sells them why he's amazing. Then they fill out an application before he even tells them what is he selling. He builds a relationship with them, and then on the third page, then he tells them, oh, by the way, this is what we sell, and people just sign up because they have a relationship with him. He takes them through a funnel to build a relationship before he signs people up. Okay, it's powerful. How many of you guys run local type businesses? You can have gyms, car dealerships, dentists, chiropractic, anything like that. Okay? Yeah, we got a lot of you guys. This is one of the easiest ones in the world. I can show you, man, probably 40 or 50 chiropractors, probably 400 or 500 gym owners who are building simple funnels like this. They're blowing up gyms like crazy, blowing up the chiropractor places. Like it's very, very simple and very easy to do in local markets. It's even almost easier there than anywhere else, okay? How many of you guys are looking just for more leads? You're in the B2B and you just want more leads coming into the door? This is a really powerful B2B lead funnel. It's really awesome as well. If you're blogging, this is one of my friends, she's a blogger, and she's like, well, I'm a blogger. I make money doing that kind of stuff. How would funnels work? I'm like, well, build a funnel selling something else. So now she drives all these people from a blog into her funnels. She launched this first funnel during Christmas time to like $20,000 or $30,000 in the first weekend. Okay, and then anyone who's doing nonprofit, this is our first nonprofit who hit the 2 Comma Club. He's got like 8 different funnels. He's driving people in, and he runs these Christian nonprofit camps for kids, and he is crushing it. He's got 4 or 5 of these little nonprofit funnels that he's driving people through. Okay, and if any of you guys, does anyone here in the audience run trips where you take people to go hunt for Bigfoot? Nobody? This dude literally does that. He's got a ClickFunnels page. He's right, and I thought this was a joke. I thought it was totally like a spoof thing, but because I'm in Click, I can like look down and see what people are actually doing. He did $18,000 in the last few months selling trips to go hunt Bigfoot with him. I don't care what you guys are selling. I promise you there's a funnel for you that we can take, implement in your business, and blow it up, okay? All right, so where do you find a good funnel, and how do you know that the funnels are actually making money? You don't want to funnel hack someone that's broke, right? You want to funnel hack the winners. So this is what I do. Number 1, I go to a website called clickbank.com. Clickbank's amazing because they have over 100,000 successful sales funnels, okay? Everything from fitness to finance to business to everything. In fact, there's even this one right here. This is a funnel teaching people how to build chicken coops, which I thought this, again, was a joke. And I contacted the dude and he showed me his numbers. They are killing it, teaching people how to build chicken coops. So I don't care if you're selling anything from cars to business to weight loss to chicken coops. There's a funnel in ClickBank you can model. Now you go to ClickBank, at the very top there's a button that says Marketplace. You click on the Marketplace, and then it takes you to the page right here. Now the cool thing about Marketplace is it categorizes things based on industry. So over here on the left-hand side, you can say, look, I'm in investing, business, finance, gardening, like whatever you want. You click on the category, and then what it does is then it shows you on the page all of the funnels that are in there, but it categorizes them based on which funnel is making the most today. Okay? So if you're like, I'm in finance, what's this? Boom, 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 that fast. I'm like, these are the funnels that are making the most money right now. Okay? So right now, this one I did health and fitness, and I went to the top of health and fitness, and number 1 there is a website called Venus Factor. Okay? So then I go to venusfactor.com, whatever the number 1 is for you, and this is where I have to do what all good entrepreneurs have to become good at doing. I pull my wallet out of my pocket, and I buy their product. Okay, so I funnel hacked Venus Factor, and it's these 4 pages. Actually, I want to step back for 1 second. When I found Venus Factor, ClickBank is actually in Boise as well. ClickBank and ClickFunnels are both in Boise. I don't know why. It's kind of fun though. So I had a chance to go out to dinner or to lunch with the owner and the CEO of ClickBank. And I'm always curious. And I asked him at lunch, I was like, hey, I have a question for you. Venus Factor's number 1 right now in the marketplace. And how much money are they making? Can you tell me? And he looked at me, he's like, Russell, I can't tell you that. You know that. I'm like, I know. But let's just say you were to tell me, and like, if I just guess, can you give me like not, and something like that? And he's like, I can't tell you, man. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, okay. Well, I had a friend that was number 1 in weight loss in this space about a year and a half earlier. I said, okay, so-and-so was there. And when he was the number 1 spot, they were doing about $50,000 a day, which I thought was insane. And I asked him, I said, are they close to that? Or is it more than that, less than that? Just give me a ballpark. And he smiled and he said, they're doing more than double that. I was like, what? $100,000 a day Venus Factor's making, okay? So then I come over here, again, I funnel hack the product, And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 pages are making them $100,000 a day. Was that worth my $37 investment to buy their product? If I'm in the weight loss industry, heck yeah. But even if I'm not, let's say I'm selling any other kind of information product in the world, this is valuable information, right? I can find out what they're selling, how they're selling, what the price points are working right now. I can see everything, okay? So step 3 is I buy their product, I funnel hack it. Step number 4, now I go in front of a whiteboard, I sketch it out. Page number 1's looking like this. This is what the price point needs to be, page 2, page 3, page 4. Now I know what I need to create. Now I've got a business model. Now I can go and actually do something. I'm not just guessing and hoping and hoping it's gonna be good, right? So that's funnel hacking, you guys. That's how we ethically steal over $1 million worth of funnel hacks from our competitors for under $100. All right, now move on to secret number 2.
Okay, and before we move on to secret number 2, so again, if you look at the framework we talked about earlier, with like secret number 1 is my first chance to push down the big domino, and then the origin story, I'm kind of pushing it down. Now I'm going to go more intense on this. I'm saying, okay, this is the new opportunity. Here we are. Here's the new opportunity I'm trying to make everybody, right? So here's a new opportunity. What are all the stories I have that are going to prove beyond a shadow of doubt that this is the way to go, right? And so you look at all my stories, like how many stories did I tell in there? 5, 10, 15, 20, I don't know, but all the stories I have to try to prove to you beyond a shadow of doubt that like, you have to have a funnel. That's the only way to 10x your business in the next 12 months is by having an actual funnel, okay? And so like, that's the thing when you guys are building this, like what are the stories you have to try to get them to believe in the vehicle, the new opportunity you're offering them? And you're thinking about those and telling story after story after story after story, just trying to basically break down all these false beliefs. Okay, it's the same thing if I was selling one-on-one. I could be like, why don't you want to buy this? And I'm like, well, it's kind of expensive. I'm like, oh, well, actually, and I could like talk about it. Oh, what else do you want to buy? Oh, and then I can like have all these things I can do if I'm talking one-on-one with somebody. But with 9,000 people in the audience, or if I'm on a webinar, I can't even see anybody. I have no idea what their concerns are. So I'm trying to think, what are the stories that I have that are going to prove this beyond a shadow of a doubt? And the more stories, the better stories that I can do. It's going to break down all these false beliefs so eventually they're like, dang, I need a funnel. I don't know if you guys saw, I was watching when I showed the e-commerce funnel with Trey, and then it scanned to the audience, and there's a guy in the front, he looks at his buddy, he's like, that was it, boom, I knocked down that domino for them, right? He was like, I don't know who that was, but I guarantee you he bought, okay? Because he has belief now, he's like, oh my gosh, that's what we're selling, this is like, that's what I want people doing, okay? So each of these stories, the goal of it is again, there's one big domino I'm trying to knock down, which is, the only way to 10x your company the next 12 months is by having a funnel, right? That's the belief, that's the big domino. If I can push that down, they have to give me money. So now I'm just taking as many whacks at this thing to knock it down as possible. Like what concerns they possibly have that's keeping this up? Let me tell a story that destroys that concern, and destroys that concern, destroys that concern, destroys that concern, so that all those things disappear, and then boom, they have to come back and buy. Okay? If you look at, I wonder if I can find it real quick, in Expert Secrets. Hopefully, if nothing else, I've sold you guys on reading Expert Secrets, right? All right, secret number 9, page 128. You guys can see that up above. But we have people do this workshop, and we do these events here in Boise where we kind of go deeper into this. But you guys can all do it at home, okay? Actually, go to page 132. And so if you look at this, this exercise is basically number 1, like what are all the false beliefs somebody has about your vehicle? And same thing with internal and external, right? But what's all the false beliefs that somebody has? Okay, so I write down those false beliefs here. And then number 2 is like, okay, what did they experience that made them believe that thing? Okay. The number 3 is what's the story are they telling themselves that's keeping them? Then what's the story you can tell that's going to trump their story? Okay. So I'm going to illustrate this. I always share this with the network marketing. I think it's the easiest one to kind of explain. So I'll use it. So let's just say here's if the vehicle I'm trying to get somebody in is a false belief. So let's say. Here's step number 1, okay? This is their false beliefs. So what are all the false beliefs somebody has? So I'm gonna list them out like number 1, number 2, number 3, and list out as many false beliefs as I can think of, okay? So let's just say one false belief is like, if I join a network marketing company, I'm gonna lose my friends and my family, okay? So there's a false belief. I'm gonna lose my friends and family, okay? So I list that down. Number 2 then is, okay, what is the experience that they had that they're remembering, right? They're remembering some kind of experience where they got beat up. That's why that guy's a black guy. Okay, they had a bad experience. What is the experience that they had that made them believe this false belief? Okay, so usually in network marketing, the experience is one of 2 things. Number 1 is they joined a program one day, they called their friends and their family, their mom and their sister and their brother, and every single person got annoyed and like stopped returning their calls. So they actually lost friends and family because of it. Or the opposite side of that is they were on the receiving end of that, and their sister got involved in something, and she called them every single day, and text messaging coming over to the point where his sister that they loved, she's been avoiding him forever, right? So there's the experience. So sister annoyed me, right, or whatever. So that's why that experience gave them the story of why they will never do it. Okay, so the third thing then is figuring out, okay, what's the story that they're telling themselves? Okay, if you study Tony Robbins, he always talks about this. Everyone's got a story. It's either positive or negative, but they've got this negative story. So the story, it's very similar to this. The story is like, if I tell my friends and my family about this thing, then, like if-then statement, then I'm going to lose my friends and family, right? So that's the story, and then that they have. So then your job here in this part is you got to look at what is the new epiphany bridge that you have that trumps their story. Okay, my story is, if I do this, then this. So you got to come back and say, look, I used to think the same thing. In fact, when I got started, this right day, I called my friends and my family. It was annoying. I lost my sister and my friends. They won't talk to me anymore. And I was like, I'll never do this again. But then I met this person. And this person, they were having huge success, and they tried to get me. And I said, no, I'm never going to do that again. But that person told me that like they don't talk to friends and family either. They actually use the internet, and they use the internet to generate leads. And now they get people signing up, and they built a business so big, now their friends and family ask them, like, what are you doing? But they never talk to anybody unless they ask them first because of the internet. Okay, so I tell this story, like the internet is how I get leads. And all of a sudden, I tell them this story, and they look at that and like, oh wow, my story isn't true. My story sucks. If I do it your way, like this is actually the truth. I could actually do that thing because I wanted the result, right? And now this is the story. I tell them that story, and it trumps their story, which then changes the experience, then changes the false belief, and that false belief disappears, and now it's replaced with their new belief. Okay? So for me, if I'm doing secret number one on the vehicle, I'm sitting down and saying, okay, here's the vehicle. What are all the false beliefs somebody's going to have about funnels? What's all the false beliefs they have about ketosis? What's all the false beliefs they have about whatever product or service you sell? And I list those things out. Just like if I was doing a one-on-one sales call with somebody. What else is your false belief? Why won't you buy? Why won't you buy? Why won't you buy? And I'm going to listen to them tell me all their different stories about why they're not going to buy. Then I'm going to sit back and say, okay, what did they probably experience that made them believe that? What did they experience make them believe that? What did they experience make them believe that? And then what's the story they're telling themselves? So I'm translating this experience into a story. And the reason why I do this is because I'm going to be making a story that trumps it. A lot of people are like, this is like almost the same thing. Yes, this is the experience they had, but this is the story that they're telling themselves in their head, right? So experience and story, and I got to figure out what's the story I'm going to tell over here to trump that. Okay? So for me, when I'm doing secret number one, I'm teaching people about funnels. I'm thinking, what are all the false beliefs? False beliefs is that it's not going to work in my industry. Okay? All right, why do they believe that? Because they've tried their stuff, and because they're a photographer, they don't think it's going to work for them. Okay, what's the story that doesn't work for photographers? Okay, I need to share a story that's going to break this belief so that they're like, oh my gosh, I'm a photographer. Oh my gosh, I'm in e-com. Oh, I'm in network marketing. Oh, I'm in. So I destroyed all the people whose false belief is not going to work for their industry. Then it's like, well, the funnel is really hard and complicated. Okay, why did they believe that? Well, they tried to hire an ad agency in the past. It was confusing. So what happened? Well, they went and they built this confusing thing, and it didn't work, and there's all these things. It cost them a ton of money. It was frustrating. Okay, well, what's my story? My story is different. All I did is I found someone who's already successful. I bought their product. I looked at what it looked like, and I modeled it. So I tell that story. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have to hire an agency. It's actually easy. And I go to the next one, the next one. So like, all I'm doing in secret number one is looking at, here's all the false beliefs that they have about the vehicle I'm trying to get them in. What's the experience they had because of that? What's the story they're telling themselves? And what story do I have that trumps their story? And I tell those stories. And if I do it right, all these false beliefs disappear. Boom, and the domino falls down. Okay, you guys getting this? Is this making sense? There's my trial closes for you. That's the game, right? So I do this for secret number one, secret number two, and secret number three. So that's where I get all these stories from, you guys, is this process. And if you're not doing this process, it's time to do this process, right? Sit down. I'm trying to get people to believe that this is the new opportunity, right? Here's a new opportunity you're presenting them. What are all the false beliefs? If you don't know, call your dream client up and talk to them on the phone like you would selling something else. And then list down all the reasons why they tell you no. Why else you can tell me no? Why else you can tell me no? Also, you're going to have all these things. And now from there, you can reverse engineer it and figure out what stories you have that trump those stories. Okay? And notice some of these stories aren't my stories. Some of them are, but some are other people's. Like, hey, I learned this from Tony Robbins, and this is the story he told me that made me believe that. And that's why, and so you don't have to, like, if you're, some people are like, well, I have no stories, Russell. And first off, you do. Second off, you just got to think about it. But third off, like, if you don't have one, look at other places, look at other stories. Okay, when I was going to all these events and listening to speakers, I'm listening to their things and like the stories they tell. I use tons of other people's stories in my thing. I met this guy, and this is the thing he told me, and this is the aha I had. Like, I can tell other people's stories, I can tell my stories, it doesn't matter, right? In fact, I have tons of people now who sell ClickFunnels as an affiliate, and the story they tell, I met this guy named Russell Brunson, he made money selling potato guns for crying out loud, blah, blah, and they tell my story to knock down the dominoes, okay? But this little process right here, this is happening on secret one, secret two, secret three. Does that make sense? Hopefully that lights off some light bulbs. So again, go back into the book, go study that stuff, because this is the key to the process. This is where all the stories are coming from, all the false beliefs. And by the time it's done, if I've done it right, everyone believes that, okay, he's right. I need that. That's the vehicle I need. Okay? And again, some people I could sign them up right there, and I'm going to close a big percentage of the room, but then some of them are going, oh, well that works for you, but like, what about me? Like, I'm different. It's not gonna work for my business or whatever. The internal fears start coming up. Now I transition to secret number 2, but I'm doing the same process now. Secret number 2, I'm gonna go through the same thing. What are the false beliefs? What are the experiences? What's the story? What story do I have that trumps that? And that's what we're doing. Okay? So with that said, I'm gonna jump now into secret number 2 now and see if you guys see that pattern, because this is the pattern. This is all I'm doing. This is the magician showing behind the curtain of like, that's it. There it is. It's not more complicated than that. Okay? All right. Here we go. Back into secret number 2. Now again, secret number 2 is you're listing this. This is the internal belief. So I've got them to believe, oh my gosh, funnels are the way. This is the key to connecting my company next 10 years or next year. Now it's coming back to the internal belief. But I don't know how to do it. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not technical, blah, 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 all the internal things. Now I'm going to smash those right now. Okay, here we go.
I want to show you guys how to get the best salesperson on planet Earth to close sales for your product 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without ever complaining, asking for a raise, or taking a break. And before I get into this, I'm curious. I'm in a room right now with 9,000 salespeople. How many of you guys think that you're the best salesperson in this room right now? Raise your hand. All of you guys think you're the best? All right, let's do it one more time. How many of you guys think you are the best salesperson in this entire room right now? That's good. You guys got big egos. Congratulations. No, it's important. Okay. So I told you before, having a sales funnel is kind of like cloning the top salesperson in your organization and let him close sales for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay? I want you to understand that the best salesperson inside of your company is probably you, right? I'm the best salesperson on planet Earth to sell ClickFunnels. There's nobody that believes in it more than I do. There's nobody who can sell it better than I do. So guess what? I'm the one who goes and I sell it all day long, every single day, because I'm obsessed with it. I love it. Okay, we were meeting with Ty Lopez, actually. He's gonna be here tonight. We were meeting at his house the other day, and one of his partners were there, and his partner said, so how many salespeople do you have at ClickFunnels? I smiled. I'm like, how many do you think? He's like, well, I know all these other companies that you're competing against, and most of them have sales floors of 100 plus people or more. I smiled, and I was like, we got one. You have one salesperson? How'd you do $100 million in sales? I'm pretty good, right? I think I'm the best. Anyway, that's the key, you guys, okay? I went from having 60 full-time salespeople in an office to replacing them with one sales funnel. And then I get to do my pitch. And I make sure my pitch is perfect. I can test it, I can tweak it. And then after I have it perfect and it works, I don't touch it again. The nice thing about it is when my funnel works, when the sales process is in place, if I wake up the day in a bad mood, it doesn't matter. I still close the exact same percentage rate. If I'm tired that day, if I'm sick, if I want to go on vacation, if I want to take a year off, it doesn't matter. I keep on closing every single day. Okay? Now, to kind of illustrate this, when I launched my very first book, the 10xsecrets book, after launch, it was really successful. And then a little while later, like a week or two later, Tony Robbins called me up on the phone, which is like the coolest thing in the world, right? It's only happened like 3 times in my life, and it's insane. So this is actually a picture they took of me when Tony called me on the phone. Because I'm like, Tony Robbins, like freaking out, trying to be like, yeah, what's up, Tony? How's it going, man? I'm totally geeking out. And he's like, Russell, in his Tony voice, Russell, so I saw your book launch. It's doing really good. And I'm like, yeah? That's pretty cool you saw it, man. He's like, I'm about to launch my book. Do you have any pointers for me? I'm like, oh yeah, tons. And so this was my book I launched. This was the Money Master book he was coming out with. So it hadn't come out yet, he was about to. And I was like, yeah, so I told him about my sales funnel, you sell the books. I walked him through the whole process. He was like, this is awesome, Russell. He's like, can you build one for me? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, well, okay, go build me a funnel. It'll be awesome. I'm like, well, this is the thing, Tony. I need one thing from you. This is how you get to hang out with Tony for a day. I was like, I need one thing that's really important. I'm like, who do you think the best salesperson is on planet Earth to sell your book, Tony? He's like, well, me, of course. I'm like, of course you are. I was like, I just need to capture you on video selling your book. If I can do that, I can build a funnel out, and that's all I need. And I said, I need a day with your time. And he said, no. I was like, okay, I need 6 hours time. He's like, no. And he's like, how much time can I have? He's like, I'll give you an hour. I'm like, okay. So we actually, he was in Vegas doing an event, and we went to, this is actually pictures of it actually happening. So we rented a hotel room. He got it all set up, and he's like, you got an hour. So he came in here, we grabbed Tony, we took him back to the back room, we set the lights and the camera and everything. I said, okay, Tony, here's your book. You're the best salesperson on planet Earth to sell this book. Sell me the book. Click record. And all of a sudden, Tony did what he does best, and he explained why his book is the greatest book in the world and why he should buy it. Then I was like, okay, that's the first step in the funnel. Next thing, we're gonna upsell something else. I'm like, tell me why this is the best thing in the world. And then Tony sold that and went through the entire funnel. So we did it with here. We had page number 1 was Tony selling his book. Page number 2, then was Tony upselling his Ultimate Edge program. And number 3 was Tony upselling his Love and Relationships program. Okay, so we recorded those 3 videos. And I said, okay, Tony, you're out of here. He took off and left. And I was like, okay, now I've got the video of the best salesperson on planet Earth selling his product. Now I just got to plug in the funnel. And now for the rest of time, that'll sell his book for him over and over and over and over and over again. An hour of his time is what it took. Okay? For you guys who are amazing salespeople, it's like an hour. You're like an hour away than having something that will replace you so you can just sell all day, all long without yourself there, okay? Now, I want to teach you guys something really important. People always ask me, well, Russell, what do I say on the video? I know how to sell face-to-face. Like I'm selling someone on the phone, it's easy, but when I'm standing in front of a camera, like what do I say? How do I say it, right? So it's really easy. This is the script. It's called the who, what, why, how script. This is why I give you guys these pop sockets. So when you put the pop socket on your phone, you pull it out, okay? Most of my videos today are all done on my phone. I pop out the pop socket, I can hold it like this, okay? This is how it works. And then I turn on the camera, and now I can sell everything by answering those 4 questions. Number 1, who are you? Number 2, what do you have for your person who's watching this video? Number 3, why do they need it? And number 4, how can they get it? Easiest script in the world, and it's magic. It works so good. So I take my phone out, I click record, said, hey, my name's Russell Brunson. I'm here today at the 10X event. I'm really, really excited. What do I have? I've got a really cool book I want you guys all to buy. It's called 10xsecrets. Why do they need it? You need this book because if you got a message, you got a voice, you want to share your message with more people, you need this book. How do you get it? Fill out the form on the side. Let me know where to ship your book. Put your credit card in. We'll ship one out to you. Boom, that's it. That's the video. Okay? Thank you. Now I can do this in every one of your guys' business, okay? Let's pretend you guys are running a car dealership and you're selling, how many car salespeople do we have in the room? A few? All right, imagine this, check out this video, okay? Hey, my name's Russell Brunson, I'm now the car lot right now. Check out this car, is it amazing or what? Okay, I've got this car for sale. Normally it's whatever, but I got a huge discount happening for the next 48 hours on this thing. Why do you want this car? This car is amazing. It's got the fastest this, is the best this, it's like awesome. Again, we got some dude coming in from out of town who wants to buy it, but if it gets sold before then, it could be yours. How do you get it? You gotta come down to the lot right now. How do you get it? Fill out the form down below. I will give you a call and tell you why this is the best car on planet Earth. Boom, video done. Is that easy? How many of you guys are looking for leads for your company? What most people do, they buy leads, they start cold calling leads all day long. That's kind of cool, and like you get the badge of honor of like I did that. Wouldn't you rather have leads of people who like think you're amazing, and then they beg you to come and like take their money? Okay, we call this a takeaway sell. All my funnels are based off takeaway selling. So I do this, something like this. Hey, my name's Russell Brunson. Over the last 3 years, I built a company from $0 to $100 million. It's awesome. If you're looking to grow one of your companies, software company, whatever it is, that's what I have. I've got something really special for you. We've got a really cool coaching program where I actually take people like you through this process. Now, unfortunately for you, I can't take everybody. I would love to take everybody, but I can't. And so what we do is we actually have an application process. If you fill out the application down below, I will go through the application. I'll have some of my team go through it, and we'll see if you're a good fit for us. And the second half of that, we'll call you on the phone and see if we're a good fit for you, because I don't want to work with you if you're bad, and I don't want you to work with me if you're bad. So fill out the form down below. Some of my team will give you a call, and that's what you got to do right now. Boom. That's it. That's how we do our videos, you guys. $100 million in the last 3 years with an iPhone, me using who, what, why, how. I don't care what you are selling. This is the script you can use over and over and over again on your funnels, okay? When Tony did it, it was the same thing. My name's Tony Robbins. I've got this new book for you. Why do you need it? If you want to learn how to invest, blah, 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 blah. How do you get it? Click on the form down below, put your information in. The upsell video is exactly the same. Hey, I'm Tony Robbins. Thanks for buying my book. I hope you love it. Boom, boom, and same kind of thing, okay? Who, what, why, how. Hope you guys wrote that down. This script will make you insane amounts of money, and it's fast, it's simple. Doesn't have to be highly produced. Literally, you got to pop socket out, put your fingers in, you're on the phone. That's all you got to do, okay? All right. Now, after I get the videos to sell the thing in my funnel, whatever business you're in, now I've got to plug them into a funnel, okay? So back in the day, what we would do is we would take these assets, and then I'd have a meeting with my team. And we'd have designers and programmers and webmasters and analytics people, all sorts of stuff, and it was a huge pain in the butt. I'd tell them all the stuff, I'd give them the videos, and they'd go and they'd spend the next 2 or 3 months building out a sales funnel, okay? And that's how business was for me for the first 10 years of my career. It took forever, okay? But I'm here today to talk to you guys about a new way, a better way, through a tool that we've created called ClickFunnels. Now, obviously, I'm kind of obsessed with ClickFunnels, and I don't want you guys to think I'm biased. So I got a really quick video I want to show from one of my friends, Garrett J. White, who actually transitioned all 4 of his companies over to ClickFunnels. And I want you to hear in his own words what he said and why he made the transition.
Hello, my name is Garrett J. White, the Master Coach Mentor and founder of Wake Up Warrior Academy. And I will tell you this right now. We have tested with platforms. We have tested everything. I have attempted for the past 6 years to use every available software tool I could find that made it simpler for me to share my message. And it started with WordPress, and then it went plugins, and then Optimized Press, and then we went to Kajabi, and then we went to Lead Pages. And these are all wonderful. Know the owners of these guys, they're fantastic. The software tools were amazing. When ClickFunnels came out, I was like, dude, I cannot handle another software tool. I don't give a shit. We're just gonna manage our stuff between Lead Pages and Kajabi. And then my friend said, just test it, just try it out. And I went to ClickFunnels, and no bullshit. Like, every software increment over the last 5 years has been not a quantum shift in what you can do with the tool to get your message out to the marketplace. They've been incremental. So like, there's been a move from Kajabi to Lead Pages, or from Optimized Press to Kajabi, and they were these segmented steps that had slight improvements that made it easier. ClickFunnels, though, came out of nowhere. They took the marketplace by storm, just like Apple did when they first launched the iPhone. It was not a linear move anymore. It was a quantum move in improvement that'll open up a gap to allow people just like you watching this, people just like you and me, who are not technically savvy. We weren't born in the matrix, and we didn't have a chip implanted in our heads. We're not engineers or computer science majors, and we don't understand that stuff inherently. ClickFunnels gave you, my friend, an opportunity to cut and decrease the time of stress and anxiety and suffering behind a keyboard. Trust me, the days you want to just pound vodka and throw your Mac out the window because you can't figure shit out, ClickFunnels has brought it to a place that it is a quantum leap in opportunity, which allows you, just like the iPhone, to not only look smarter, but to feel smarter, and ultimately to only deal with the stuff that matters, which is getting your message about your product and your program and service out to the marketplace.
How many guys think that ClickFunnels has the most amazing customer support on planet Earth?
If you're spending all the time in suicide watch and having to check yourself into a hospital, and honestly trying to deal with everything else that's come out before it. So I not only fully endorse ClickFunnels, it's the only software tool that we use. When it comes to our funnels online across all 4 of my businesses, we're not going anywhere else. Love Russell, love this event. This event married up to that software tool. You are a dumbass if you don't come, and that's okay. There's plenty of dumbasses on the planet. Just don't let it be you.
All right, so what I'm doing now with you guys, I'm gonna build an entire funnel with you guys in about 7 minutes. You guys game for that? Awesome. I was a little worried the internet inside of here was a little choppy, so I did this in the hotel room today. So I'm actually gonna build with you guys Tony Robbins' funnel. You guys wanna see me build his funnel again live? All right, so check this out. You guys can see how simple and easy ClickFunnels is to use for everybody. People like me who aren't technical, and like most of you guys in this room, I'm guessing, are very similar. So this is how we built Tony Robbins' funnel. Okay, so here I am inside of ClickFunnels. I'm so excited to show you guys exactly how it works, how simple and easy it is for people like me and you to actually build our own sales funnels here inside of ClickFunnels. Now, for this example, I'm actually gonna build out Tony Robbins' sales funnel for his book, Money Master the Game. Now, here on the left-hand side, I actually have YouTube open up, so you can see, basically, I recorded these videos of Tony, and we upload them to YouTube. So it's nothing fancy. We just took them, uploaded them to YouTube, and all 4 videos to upsell his book, The Ultimate Edge, the Love and Relationships program, and also his coaching program are now here inside of YouTube. Now over here on the right hand side, this is actually inside of ClickFunnels. Now if you look here on the left hand side, these are each of the pages inside of Tony's funnel. This is the first page, which is going to be selling Money Master the Game. This then is the upsell page, selling the Ultimate Edge. This is the second upsell page, selling the Ultimate Relationship. And then this is the last page where we're actually going to be selling his high-end coaching program. Now if we have these out of order, the nicest thing about ClickFunnels is you can grab it, and you can literally drag and drop and just move things around that fast. And that fast, the entire funnel is updated, and all the internal linking will instantly work. So you don't have to have any tech people. There's no complication. You just grab, drag and drop, move things around, and that quick, everything's updated. Now for this example, I'm just going to come up here to the Money the Master of the Game page. I'm going to come down here to the edit page. I click on that button, and it's going to take me inside the ClickFunnels editor. This is the part I'm most excited to show you about, because this is what makes ClickFunnels so powerful. The fact that I don't have to have a programmer or technical person to do this. I can literally do this. Now, I come up here, and the first thing I do is I can edit the title. So this is very simple. Free copy now. What makes ClickFunnels different than any other page editor in the world is that literally, if I want to move something, I can click on it, I can drag, and I can drop it, and that fast it moves.
Isn't that awesome? Now, not only can I move things around, the second thing I do is every time I click on something, there's a little plus button. If I click on that, ClickFunnels opens a whole bunch of different elements I can put in. I can put in credit card forms. I can put in Apple or Android Pay. I can put in new headlines, images, all sorts of different things right here. I can put in audio players, sign-up forms, countdown clocks, icons, dividers, pricing tables, social sharing, like all these different elements you can literally add just by clicking on a button. So right here, for example, I'm going to add a progress bar. I click on progress bar, and that fast adds a progress bar here inside of ClickFunnels. Now, if I want it, if I don't like it here, I can go and I can drag and I can drop it. I can move it over here. If I want to edit, I click right here on the little gear icon, and it gives me a bunch of cool things I can do to edit. Like, for example, I can change the color if I want. I can move it. I can change different themes, so I can make animated stripes if I want. I can also come here and I can change the width. Let's say I want it to be at 30%, or no, I actually want it to be 90%. But just simple, like, anybody can do this. You literally just pushing some buttons, dragging and dropping and moving things around. Next thing I'm going to show you, I can click right here. I can add a countdown clock if I want. I just scroll down to all the different elements, find one that says countdown clock, and that quick I can throw a countdown clock. Now I just add this countdown clock, but as you can see, it's kind of dark, it's black. So I'm going to click right here and click on themes. And there's a whole bunch of different designs I can make for my countdown clock. So I'm going to scroll down to one that I like. I click a button, and boom, that fast we now have a countdown clock. And again, if I don't like it here, I can go and I can drag it. I can move it over here if I want. Or if I just decide I don't like countdown clock, I can delete that as well. And that's how simple it is to build anything you want here inside of ClickFunnels. Now, for this example, I'm going to come back here. This is the video that we made with Tony to be able to sell this product. So I'm going to come up here to the URL. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to click here on the video. I come over here, and I delete the video that's already in there. I'm going to just paste that video link right here. And I'm going to click on the save button. Now, when I do that, check this out. I'm going to preview the page. And when I do, you are going to see Tony Robbins selling Tony's product.
Hi, it's Tony Robbins. Listen, I'm here today to offer you a unique opportunity, and that
Isn't that awesome? That quick, I have an amazing page of Tony Robbins selling his actual product. Now, if I come back here again, if I want, I can add a picture of the book. If I click on the plus button right here, I click on image, which adds a little image here. Then I can click on the gear, and I can upload an image. I'm going to go right here, and I found a picture of Tony Robbins' book cover. I click on that right here. It uploads the image almost instantly. I click on it here. And there you go. Now I got a picture of Tony's book right there on the page. And if I come down here, let's say in the template I don't like something, I can move things around. I can grab Carl icon. I can move him above Ray Dalio. Or if I decide, no, I want Carl on the bottom, I can drag and drop, move things around. But that's simple, you guys. And there's no way to mess these pages up. That's the best part. You don't have to have a programmer or designer to move things or ask them to do things. You can come in here and just very quickly and very easily make pages that are proven to convert. Then I can save the button right here. If I want, I can check out, see what it's going to look like when somebody's on their phone, and I can see this is what it's going to look like mobily. And if I want, I can hide certain things. Let's say on mobile, I don't want to show this picture right here. I click on settings, I can click on desktop only, and it disappears now on mobile, and it only shows up on the desktop. So it's really simple to make this look exactly how you want it to look on your phone as well as on the desktop. Okay, now I'm going to exit this page here. Now the very first page here inside the funnel is done. Now how long did it take me? 3 or 4 minutes of literally dragging and dropping and copying and pasting. That's all it takes to make amazing pages here inside of ClickFunnels. Now the first page is done, I'm going to move on to the second page. Second page is the ultimate edge. Now on this page, what's amazing is I'm going to actually do what we call a one-click upsell. So I'm going to edit this page right here. And the product people are buying are the ultimate edge. So I'm going to come right here. I'm actually going to click over here, and I'm going to grab this second video. This is a video of Tony upselling the ultimate edge. I click right here. I delete the old video. I'm going to paste the new video in. If I want, I can go and I can click right here, and I can add an image of the actual product to make it look really, really cool. So I click on the image. I'm going to upload an image. Upload the picture of the ultimate edge. And in a few seconds, that will be uploaded to ClickFunnels. And that quick, we got the picture of the product. Now, I want to actually have the video of Tony up top because he is such a good salesperson. I want to make sure it's the first thing they see. So I can literally just grab this. I can drag and drop it wherever I want it to be. The headline's kind of big, so if I want, I can just shrink it down as well. Now I save the page. I click on preview.
Hey, thanks a lot for taking the time to fill this out. And this book is on its way
And there you go. Now there's Tony talking about his book and pitching the Ultimate Edge upsell. And the coolest thing is when somebody comes and they order this, they just have to click on this upgrade my order now. And because they put in their credit card back here on page number 1, they don't have to put their credit card in again. This is what we call a one-click upsell. They click on that button and instantly their credit card is charged. And that is one of the secrets behind why funnels are so amazing. Now I'm not going to go through and edit every single one of these pages with you, but you can see how simple and how easy it is. I just go click on the page, I change the text, I move things around, I copy and paste, I add my videos, add my images, and that fast, these pages become your pages. Pages that are customized and designed to actually sell your products and your services. And that's how simple and how easy it is to use ClickFunnels.
All right, so my question for you guys, how many of you guys here think that ClickFunnels is amazing? Yeah. We have simplified this process literally to unhandcuff entrepreneurs and salespeople. You can get your phone out, record the video, upload it to YouTube, pick the template, drag it in, copy and paste, and within minutes, your entire sales funnel is done, ready to generate leads, to sell your products, and make a bunch more money. Does that sound good? All right, so the question I get from a lot of people is like, well, Russell, is this gonna work for my business? I don't know if ClickFunnels is gonna work for my business. My business is different. I get it every single time, and I always smile, and I say, well, this only works for businesses that are trying to either generate leads or sell products. So as long as you're trying to generate leads or sell products, ClickFunnels is gonna work for your business, okay? I'm gonna drop the mic on that question for forever. All right, let's move on to secret number 3.
All right, so that was secret number 2. Now, a couple of things I want to kind of stress. Again, my goal was, first thing is, secret number 1 is all about them believing that the funnel, that was the vehicle for them to have success, right? Number 2 then is like their internal belief. So for me, it's like, I don't know how to write copy. I don't know how to build a funnel. I'm not technical. I'm not blah, 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 right? So I'm like, I got to show them how simple it is. Okay, so I showed them the skills that I know they all have. They all feel like they're good salespeople. So I'm like, hey, look, if you can sell, it's all you need to have. So get your phone out, record the thing of you selling. Now it's done. The selling part's done. Now let me show you the pages. It's super easy and simple, and I just show how simple it is to make them believe like, oh, cool, I could do that. That's all I want them to have is like, oh, I actually could do that. Even I could do that, right? That was my whole goal, was showing that. The second secret is showing how simple and how easy it is, so that if they can make a video on the phone, they can be able to use this, okay? And so a couple things I want to kind of stress here, because some of you guys have products that are demoable, like software, some of you guys don't. Either way, it's fine. Even if you don't have software you can demo, you can still do the same concept, like kind of explaining, like, here's how the process works and showing you the whole thing. One thing interesting I found is, and this is gonna be tough for those of you guys who are like obsessed with your product, right? The creators and the trainers, that kind of stuff. You don't want to teach or train or like show some stuff. And so I remember when ClickFunnels, we added a whole bunch of new features. I went back and I added my demo video. I added all these things, how you can do like all the ninja cool features. I'm like, oh, people are gonna love this stuff. And I added all those things in, and my demo video was about twice as long. And I showed like everything that was possible inside ClickFunnels. And when I did that, my sales dropped to almost nothing. It was like the worst thing I possibly could have ever done. And so I went back to simplification of like, let me show you the big ideas. Like, it's easy, you can drag, you can drop, move things around. I kind of show them really quickly, and then it was done. Every time there's the next ClickFunnels killer that comes out, in fact, now I think we're up to 38, there's one launching right now, and I go and I watch their demo video, and that's showing them demoing 8,000 features. I was like, whew, good, I'm good for another round of ClickFunnels killers, okay? They don't want to know everything that's happening. Again, it comes back to the same thing, like the reason why in a presentation I'm not going to show you all of the how to do everything is because that's not what they need right now. Okay, if I show them everything about the software, it's like, they're going to be so overwhelmed, they're not going to do it. I want to show them just enough that it's like, oh my gosh, I could actually do that. And then I'm going to take them off site later. We're going to go through and go deep so you can actually do it all. But I just need them to believe. Okay, I'm breaking the false belief that they can't do it and giving them a new belief of, oh my gosh, I could actually do this. And if I've done that, I've served them at the highest level, because now that's not going to be a belief that keeps them from actually moving forward. Okay, so number 1, went through the whole process, went through the stories for the vehicle. Number 2, now we've done it for the internal beliefs. Now the third one we're going to transition to is now the external beliefs. Okay, so if they believe that ketosis is the thing and they believe they could actually do it, what's the reason why they're going to be like, oh, but there's this external thing keeping me from doing it? Okay, oh, I can't. Even if I did have a funnel, I know I could build it. I don't know how to get traffic. I don't know how to get leads. I don't know how to, like, what is the external thing, right? And so that's what we're going to transition to now. So for me in my business, the external thing is typically traffic. And so that's what this one is. So I'm going to dive into that one right now.
The last step is, how do we get the traffic and the leads and the people now to come to you and go through your funnels, right? So secret number 3, I'm gonna show you guys how to get the exact same customers who are currently going to your competitors' funnels and start coming into your funnels instead. Okay, and this is where it all becomes really, really fun. All right, so I told you earlier about Venus Factor, right? So I'm gonna go back to clickbank.com. This is Venus Factor. They're the number 1 spot right now. Now, can you imagine how cool it'd be if I could just call it Venus Factor and be like, hey guys, I know you're incredibly rich, 100 grand a day. I'm doing the math. Like you probably have your own planes and everything. My guess is you're rich enough at this point. Would you mind telling me where you get all your traffic from? Because I kind of made something similar and I would love to get all of your leads to come to me instead. What do you think the guy would say on the phone? Ding, hang up, right? Now, unfortunately, he's not going to tell you all the information, but the good thing about the internet is there's websites that will. They'll tell you every single thing about what everybody's doing. There's no way to hide it online, okay? So one of my favorite sites is a website called similarweb.com. If you guys can all write that down, similarweb.com. It's a really cool website that'll actually show you where people are getting their traffic from. So I go to similarweb.com, I type in the website URL of the people that I'm funnel hacking. So I type in venusfactor.com, I click on the search button, and then boom, it shows me all the data about what's happening on that website. Okay, so for Venus Factor, it shows they're getting between 1 and 3 million visitors a month right now getting to their funnel. So people ask me, how do they make 100 grand a day, Russell? I'm like, they're getting like 3 million people a month to their website. That's not that hard if you get that many people. And then what's cool, if you scroll down a little bit, they have this section that says the top referring websites. Who's referring them all the traffic? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is so interesting. I look at the number 1 is lifeguru.com, number 2 is naturalnews.com, number 3 is newsmax.com. They kind of go down from there. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, I don't know what lifeguru.com is. I've never seen that before. And from that little green bar, it's like, I don't know, like a third of their traffic's coming from there. So maybe like 1 million people a month are coming from lifeguru.com. I didn't know what it was. So I went to lifeguru.com and I came in, it's this blog. And I'm so confused. The blog about like finding love and being happy and losing weight and all this stuff. I'm like, that's weird. I'm looking around and all of a sudden I see this banner out of the bottom that said 5 foods not to eat and the picture of a banana. I was like, huh. So I clicked on it and guess where it took me? venusfactor.com. It's like, okay, cool. Then you go back to SimilarWeb, and if you scroll down a little further, it talks about all the display advertising. There's a big button that says show the ads. I call it the show me the money button. You click on that button, and guess what it shows you? All the ads that they have ever ran from the beginning of time till now. Now, this is the free version of the site. If you upgrade, you pay for the paid version. Not only does it show you all the ads they ran, it'll say this ad ran for like 2 weeks and we never saw it again, but this ad's been running for 728 days and it's still live right now. Now, what do you know about an ad that's been running for 728 days and it's still live? Yeah, you know, one of two things. Either they're venture backed and they're just burning money, they hate money, it'd be number 2, or number 3, it's actually working, right? So that's kind of how it happens. So if this happens, right now I know one of 2 things. Number 1, I know exactly where they're advertising, and number 2, I know exactly what they're saying to get people to click on the ad to come into the funnel. Okay? Now, if you've been paying attention to what I've talked about so far, if we have all this information about where they're advertising, what they're saying, what do you think we should do? Everyone says copy it. No, we shouldn't copy. We should model what works. We're close, okay? So we're gonna model the ads, model how it works, okay? So for me, the next step is going to get my banner ads designed. So when I do that, I'm gonna model the message, I'm gonna model the design, I'm gonna model the sizes. And the place I go to get my banner ads designed is a website called $20banners.com. And every time I share, there's always someone that's like, hey Russell, how much do banner ads cost there? Like, are you serious? Like, it's called $20 banners. Like, I don't know what else to do for you people. Anyway, so you go to $20banners.com, you show them the banner ads, the people you're trying to funnel hack, say, I need something similar. I don't want to copy them, but something similar. So I went there, $20 banners, I showed them this, and then boom, for 20 bucks, they made me an ad that looks very, very similar. And once again, notice I didn't copy anything, right? They had a pretty girl, I have a pretty girl. They had a purple headline, I had a purple headline, but it's my own purple headline. I didn't steal it. I just modeled the look and the feel and the layout because they've proven for whatever reason on that website, the people that are clicking, they click on that. So I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel, I'm gonna model it, okay? And then after I have the banner ad done, then I go back to the exact same website that they're buying ads on, and I buy ads on it as well. How many of you guys just had a little aha moment right there? Okay, now there's a lot of ways to drive traffic into funnels, and you should be doing all of them, right? Now for me, like, most of the ways to drive traffic though are complicated and hard and they take technical people, right? When I first got started, it was Google ads. And I tried to do Google ads. It was so confusing. I was trying stuff and it was weird, okay? And luckily Google came and slapped everyone. I'm like, oh, thank heavens, I don't have to learn it. The next thing was SEO, and I was learning H1 tags and title tags and linking and all sorts of stuff. And then Google came and slapped it like 5 or 6 times and kicked everybody out. And I was like, oh, thank heavens. Then Facebook came around. Facebook's easier, but it's still like above my head. John on my team, who's actually right down here, he actually runs the Facebook ads because he's smart to figure it out. I can't figure it out. This strategy right here, you guys, this is something I can do. All I do is like, where are my competitors getting all their traffic from? Oh, this website. I call the dude up like, hey man, my competitors are all buying ads on your site. He's like, I know. I'm like, can I buy an ad as well? He's like, yeah. They don't care, they just want the money. I'm like, well, how much does it cost? He tells me how much it costs. I send him some money, I email him a picture of my banner ad, and within 30 seconds, my ad is being displayed on the very same website. Okay, all of a sudden a percentage of all that traffic that was going to my competitor site starts coming into mine now instead. And if I'm willing to pay more, guess what they'll do? They'll kick them out. Okay, that is the key, you guys. All right, so I have a question for you guys. let's say you follow this funnel hacking process.
Okay, before we transition to the close, I want to kind of stop again. So there was the third secret. A couple of things I want to note on this is like, I could have easily done like, let me teach you about Facebook ads or about Google ads or about stuff like that, right? But people have heard that kind of stuff before. They've heard from a lot of different places. My goal here is to give people ahas. I don't want to like, I got a better way to do Facebook ads. Okay, better. It's coming back to like improvement offers we talked about before. Like, what's the new opportunity? For a lot of people, for most people who hear this the first time, like that's a new opportunity. I've never thought about getting leads that way. That seems so much easier. I could actually do that. Like it's a new opportunity, right? So I'm presenting these new opportunities. Not only is the if we come back to this, not only is the funnel, like that concept, new opportunity. Like all these pieces are new opportunities, right? The fact they can funnel hack to find somebody's thing, like that's a new opportunity. And then they come back here and it's like this tool is like that's a new opportunity. And then like, oh my gosh, this way to get traffic. Like, all these things are new opportunities. I'm presenting them. We're just like, oh my gosh, this is this whole new vision of like the world I didn't even know was possible before, right? So whenever I'm creating stuff like this in presentations, I'm trying to like, I don't want people to be like, yep, I know that, or like, oh, I've heard stuff like this similar. I want like stuff that's unique enough that they're like, oh my gosh, like I never even thought about that before, right? Because that's what gets people to shift and to change. Not when they're like, oh yeah, like 5 people talked about Facebook ads today. Like I was at the event, I watched other presenters and like a lot of them talk good stuff. They tried to sell something, but it was just like, oh, it's similar I've heard before, it's whatever. Like the big breakthroughs, the mass movements, the time when people will move and come and give you money is when you're like, giving them a radical new shift in their view of the world, right? It's taking a false belief and like breaking it. They probably already believe Facebook ads work, so I'm not going to talk about Facebook ads. They probably already believe these other things, so I'm not going to leverage that. Sure, you should be using Facebook ads for sure, but if that's what I taught people, it's not going to give them the aha. The new thing I teach, like this way to drive traffic, is like boom, the aha moment, and that's what makes the shift. Okay, so just thinking through that as you're kind of sharing stuff, and so there you go. So there's the complete package, okay? If you look at this whole thing, I had origin story that helped to indoctrinate all these movements, all these pieces of the mass movement, and my first shot at pushing down the big domino, right? Then we transitioned to like, okay, here's the vehicle. Now I went through like, what are all of the false beliefs they might have about the actual vehicle I'm trying to put them into, okay? So for me, it's funnels. What are all the false beliefs? And I tell stories to try to destroy all those false beliefs until they believe like, oh my gosh, I need to have a funnel. Then I come back to secret number 2, which is like, okay, my internal fears, like I don't know like if I can actually do this, okay, what are all the false beliefs they have? And I figure out my stories to prove to them that their false beliefs aren't actually true, and I give them new belief patterns. Then I go to number 3, which is the internal or the external belief. Find all the external beliefs, I try to shatter those and rebuild new belief patterns. And if I've done that right, this domino, like there's nothing left keeping it up. It's gonna fall down. They're like, I need a funnel. I know I can do it. I know how to get traffic now. Like, man, Russell was right. Like the only way for me to 10x my business in the next 12 months is to have a funnel. Like he's proven to me like 25 different times. And every single time I've tried to combat it, like they've all fallen over, right? One of my friends is funny. He after he saw my webinar, he posted. In fact, if you go to perfectwebinar.com, he has his testimonial on there. But he said something about like when I saw this webinar, he's like every question I had was obliterated right as I had it. Everything that was keeping me back was like destroyed at the end. Like I had no other option except for to buy. Okay, and that's the magic of this. Now, a couple things I'll stress before I move into the stack and the close. And I talk about this in the Expert Secrets book, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But it's like there's a reason why I don't just record my webinar once and put it live. Okay, the reason why is because I don't know what all the people's false beliefs are. Okay, the reason why like people who sell one-on-one get good at it because they do 1,000 phone calls and you get better and better to the point like you know every false concern someone could possibly have, right? So you're sitting there, what's your concern? Boom, here's resolve. Like the best salespeople all know that, right? You've got a response to every single person's concern. So the same thing I got to do here when I'm selling to the masses, I got to do it live a whole bunch of times. So I did this live on stage, I did it live at webinars, and every time I do a webinar, I export all the questions people ask, and I read the questions like, okay, people are getting stuck here, this is a false belief they have, this is a concern they have, and I'm looking for those things, and I tweak the slides, I come back next week, I do it again. I tweak the slides, do it again until it becomes perfect. Okay, and so right now, like when I watch a webinar, it's kind of funny because I'll see people like, hey, I got a question about it, and they're like, never mind, you answered it. Hey, what about, oh, never mind, you answered it, because I know what's coming, I know where they're going, and so I'm resolving all those concerns. Okay, this presentation that I did live, like I made a lot of tweaks and changes for the 10x event, but if you see my presentations, this is the same presentation I've been doing now for 3.5 years. I did it live almost, I don't know exact numbers, probably 60 to 70 times I did it live, over and over again on stage, on webinars, over and over again. Every time I would do that, I would go back and I would get the feedback, change it, make the tweaks, make the changes, so that now when I do this, I wasn't concerned about, I was concerned because I didn't want to flop them for 9,000 people, but I knew they were going to buy. Okay, it was just like making sure that there's nothing weird that's going to keep them from doing that. That's why we had to like coordinate how we get the order forms and the pens into people's chairs and all that kind of stuff, but I knew they were going to buy because I've done this so many times. I knew what percentage we're going to buy. Like those things were known. And so when you're doing this, don't think you have to like polish this once and be perfect. It's do your best version and then go live with it. And then read, if you're doing a webinar, go back and read all the comments and see where, oh, they're stuck, they're confused about this part, this isn't making sense, or, and then you keep redoing it. And eventually the stories get so solid that like by the time you're done, like every concern they have has been knocked over. And it's like, here's my money. Like, that's all it is, okay? So that's the power of doing this stuff and becoming really, really good at it, okay? And that's why I can't tell you how many times I tell people like just keep doing it over and over and over again live before you ever automate it. All right, so now I'm going to transition. So now I did this whole thing. I'm going to transition, start my transition to the close, okay? And typically what I'll do is I'll go back through and I'll recap like secret 1, 2, and 3. I think I pulled it out of this because I knew I was kind of tighter on time. And so, but normally I would recap the 3 secrets we talked about, just kind of to remember them of like the yes faults, yes vehicle, yes this. But the biggest thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to convince them that now that they believe this whole funnel thing, like I'm in, but they still have this fear of like, what if it doesn't work for me? What if I'm not good at it? Or what if? So I want to show them that like, even if you fail, even if you don't do this right, you can still be successful. So that's what this next little portion is here before I transition to the close. And the other thing one other thing I want to mention is different people in your audience will respond to different things, right? Like, you may have heard me talk about this before, like people make their decisions based on one of 2 things. Either they're trying to move, this is from NLP, I didn't make this up, but people make their decisions trying to move towards pleasure or away from pain, right? So I'm curious, you guys listening, how many of you guys most of your primary decisions in life, you make them because you're trying to move towards pleasure, okay? And now how many of you guys make most of your primary decisions because you're trying to move away from pain? When I think about that, the one thing that's interesting is if you look at it, traditionally most entrepreneurs make choices because they're trying to move towards pleasure. But the majority of the world makes decisions trying to stay away from pain, right? And so what happens a lot of times is lots of entrepreneurs will get on stage and we'll speak and we'll try to sell people like towards pleasure. You're gonna have a house and a mansion, it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna have 6-pack abs, all that kind of stuff. Whereas the majority of people, that's not what they're looking for. They're looking to get out of pain. Okay, it's like, I just hate my boss. I don't want to go to work anymore. These pants are tight. Like I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. Like those are the things. And so if you notice as I do this presentation, I'm hitting all angles. I'm hitting from like moving towards pleasure all the way down to away from pain. Because I'm trying to contact each of those different personality types in the audience and make sure all of them understand like how this fits for what their actual needs are. Okay, so notice that as well as you see as I transition here into the close.
All right, you found a funnel that works. You modeled it and you made your own version. You didn't copy it, but you modeled it, made your own version. Then you found out where these guys are getting all their traffic from. And then all you do is you go to the exact same website they're getting traffic from and you model it. Do you think that if they're having success, you can have success as well? Yeah, okay. Now some of you guys are looking at this and you're looking like, let's say you're doing Venus Factor, right? Like they're making $100,000 a day. How many of you see that and you're like, I just don't know if I could do that. Okay, that's scary, right? 100 grand a day. Like even for me, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. That's a lot. But I'm curious, like if you do this process the right way, we model it works, right? And let's say you totally screw it up and you only make 10% of what Venus Factor makes and you only make an extra 10 grand a day. How many of you guys an extra 10 grand a day be pretty awesome? Yeah. Some of you guys look like, well, 10 grand a day, Russell, that's like what, $3.5-4 million bucks a year? Like that's still like, I can get there, but not yet. I'm gonna 10X, but that makes me a little nervous. So my question, let's say you try this process and you totally screw it up. And you only get 10% of the 10%, you only make an extra $1,000 a day. $30,000 a month. How many of you guys an extra $30,000 a month radically transform your life right now? That's awesome, huh? Now, how many of you guys are looking at this saying, man, I still know, I'm not a techie guy, Russell. What if I totally screw it up? You only get 10%, other 10%, other 10%, you only make an extra $100 a day. $3,000 a month. What would you guys do with an extra $3 grand a month? That cover a car payment? Some student loans? Or to buy you a new car, the car you really want? Okay? I want you to understand you don't have to get this perfect to be successful, okay? Even if you mess it up, you still have a funnel that's gonna work for you, okay? Let me ask you guys a question. We've been going now.
Okay, so you guys notice that? There's the transition. Even the very last one where I was speaking away from pain, I'm like, how many of you guys cover your car payment? Then I came back to the very beginning, I started with like, 10 grand a day, how many of you guys like that? And the woos were all the towards pleasure people were like, yeah, 10 grand a day. Okay, at the very end I get down to like the away from pain, like, would you cover your car payment? But then I come back one more time, like for the towards pleasures, like how many of you guys will get a new car? And all of a sudden they're thinking like, what would I do? And all those different people, like now they see a vision of like what they would do with that money, right? If they had it right now, like would it cover a payment or would it buy me a new car? Like what would it do? And I've hit all those different segments, now they kind of have that, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna transition. This is where, and again, we are 1 hour and 7 minutes into the presentation now, and so I'm about to start selling, but this is where I ask their permission, okay? Now a big thing, if you try to be all sneaky and sly and like transition without letting them know, this is where people get upset, they get angry, they start walking out, and you feel like a salesman. Where I have this transition where I'm asking their permission to sell, people don't feel like they've been sold to, even though I've spent the last hour and 7 minutes pre-framing and structuring so that people are sold on this concept, right? If you don't have that, then they almost like it bleeds backwards and they're like, oh, this whole thing was just a big sales pitch. But here it's like, okay, I'm ending, I hope you loved it. Now you guys okay if I spend a few minutes, I'm actually making a special offer, and then I get them to conform and say yes, and then it becomes really, really easy, okay? So you'll notice that right now.
For a little bit over an hour. It's been so much fun, but how many of you guys are feeling a little bit like this right now? I've been told by a couple people I talk really fast. I remember the first time I spoke at an event, I was so excited and I was nervous. I was like, ugh, like I normally do. And some guy came out afterwards like, Russell, that was amazing. I felt like I had a fire hose in my mouth for the last hour. And I was like, oh man, sorry. And then someone on my team sent me this picture and I was like, that's what they feel like after they hear me speak.
I want to address something real quickly before we finish this part of it. So a couple things. Energy when you're on stage is so important. If you talk normally like this and you're on stage and you're talking your normal thing you would want face to face with a person, you're gonna sound like you are sound asleep, okay? You have to have your energy like 10 times higher to sound normal. So you guys notice my energy is like, oh, I'm going crazy the whole time. Like that feels normal, especially in a room that big. You have to have way high energy. I've been talking about this and I've been doing it and a lot of people don't catch it. Dana Derricks, who's one of our my inner circle members, he told me one thing. He's like, one of the biggest things I learned from you is like, he's like, I have to amplify my energy to get people to ascend to me, right? To come to you. And for you who are gonna be a presenter or stage, like you have to have way more energy than normal, okay? Number 2, it's okay to talk fast. In fact, it actually helps you. You will notice I talk fast normally. That's not a down thing. When I'm talking fast, people will hear stuff, and if they don't get everything, that's okay because it's like, I don't know, I'm feeling the energy of this, I'm excited, like I don't know exactly what it is, but I know I need that. So talking fast isn't bad. And you'll notice as I transition from the teaching to the close, I actually increase the speed of my speaking. That is intentional because that's just the pacing of how it works, okay? If you slow your pacing down during the close, people fall asleep, they'll get tired, they'll walk out and those kind of things. So during the close, I'm actually picking up my pace, not lowering it down. Okay, so while I'm apologizing for speaking fast, like I'm speaking fast on purpose, okay? Same thing, I was at a Tony Robbins event. It's so, if you've been to Tony's event, it's freezing cold. He makes the room be like when we hire Tony, it's like the room has to be like 20 degrees or something crazy. I don't know, when he gets on stage, he's always like, it's freezing up here, can you guys turn the heat on? Even though everyone knows in the back, you don't touch the heat. Tony wants this cold. This way it's like people are like, oh, it's rapport, right? So I apologize for speaking fast, but I'm not like that's strategic. I'm speaking fast on purpose, okay? And so don't feel bad about that, but anyway, so there you go. All right, so I want to stress that out because I know some people are like, Russell, you talk too fast. Yes, it's strategic and it actually is good. All right.
And so I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. Obviously, we covered a lot of stuff because I have an hour to share with you this entire process that can and will 10x your business in the next 12 months, okay? But as we were putting this whole thing together, I asked Grant, I was like, look, I don't want to leave people here. Like there's stuff you need. You need a ClickFunnels account. You need stuff. I was like, I created a really special offer where people can get ClickFunnels for free, where you give all the training, everything they need together. And he said, you can do it you can offer it based on 2 things. He said, number 1, I need you to ask their permission. So I need to ask your permission. You guys okay if I spend about 15 minutes sharing you guys a special offer I created just specifically for this audience? All right, cool. That was number 1. His number 2 thing, he said, Russell, you spoke at last year's 10X event. You got to 10X your offer. It's got to be at least 10 times as good. I was like, all right, man, I'll do my best. So here we go. So we created a really special package that's going to give you guys everything you need to be successful. Because I know that a funnel is the key for you guys to 10x your business in the next 12 months. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. I know for you guys, it is the key. Okay?
Okay, notice, before I transition to the package, what am I doing? I'm talking about the result, the domino, the one big thing, the thing that I promised in the beginning that like this is the key. You're gonna 10x your results in the next 12 months if you have a funnel. So I'm bringing that back up. Before I tell you like this is what you're gonna buy, I want to bring back to their state like this is the result. This is the reason. This is the purpose. Like this package I created is gonna get you there. So I'm re-bringing that up so they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Okay, if you miss that, then it's like, what am I buying? Why am I buying this? So I'm re-bringing that back and re-anchoring it from what we talked about earlier and bringing it back for them right here.
So what we did, we created a course called Funnel Hacks. And what you're gonna get when you guys invest in this Funnel Hacks training today, a bunch of cool things. The first thing you're gonna get ClickFunnels for free for the next 12 months. How many of you guys bought ClickFunnels for free for the next 12 months? Yeah. That means no monthly payments for the next 12 months. You can use it, you can build a funnel, build 100 funnels, build 1,000 funnels. You guys have it, okay? Now what that means, inside a ClickFunnels account, you're gonna be able to build all types of funnels. You can build opt-in funnels to build lists. You have sales funnels. You've got webinar funnels. You got auto webinar funnels, product launch funnels, membership funnels. You have funnels to generate leads, funnels to sell your products, like as many funnels as you want, okay? That's the exciting part. The second part that's exciting is that when you get your ClickFunnels account, you're also gonna be able to get rid of a lot of things. In fact, our average ClickFunnels member right now saves over $1,000 a month the second they start using it because of all the stuff they can get rid of.
Okay, just kind of set this one up. Whenever I'm creating anything, I want to create an offer that is free. Okay, so when I sell my books, it's a free book. When I'm selling a $3,000 course, I want it to be free. So I'm making the justification of like, look, you're gonna get a ClickFunnels account. You'll be able to do all this amazing stuff we're talked about. But I want to talk about this. When you start using it, here's all the stuff you can get rid of, because you can get rid of this and this and this and this. And so like, this actually doesn't cost you any money. It's completely free. Okay, you'll notice like 3 or 4 times I make the argument that everything they're about to invest in is free. Okay, so whenever you're selling anything, think about how can I make this free? Okay, if you look at our upsells, we did a big shift on most of our upsells recently, where it was like, hey, for special offer, you get these 6 training programs for $97. And we shifted it to like, hey, here's 5 amazing training programs. I'm gonna give you for free when you pay $97 for this one, right? So I'm shifting it now, this free. It's like, how do you make your offers free? So take one thing, they pay for this, they get everything else for free, right? This whole thing, if you notice, I'm telling them, if you buy Funnel Hacks, you're gonna get a bunch of other stuff for free. Plus, like, anyway, you'll notice 4 or 5 times throughout this close, I'm making the argument that everything they're getting now is free. There's free, 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 free. Okay, I want people's mind like this is free. So right now, it's the first time I'm doing this. I'm saying basically, look, when you invest in it, here's all the cool stuff you're gonna get, but here's all the stuff you can get rid of. And when you get rid of these things, it's basically free. And this works for anything. We had someone in one of our live trainings here who said, well, this works for you, Russell, you're gonna make money business, but what about me? I'm helping marriages. Like, how do I make it free for me? I'm like, well, how much does a marriage counselor cost? How much does divorce cost? Like, man, you save one divorce, you just saved yourself $100,000, millions of dollars, depending on how much money you got, right? So it's like not only are you gonna like save your marriage, you're also not gonna get a divorce, you're not gonna pay for counseling, you're not gonna have these things. So like, you can do all those things there and still end up with a divorce, and it costs you, or you do this, and now it's free. Like, you don't have to pay for a divorce. Like, this is way cheaper than that, right? So every business has it. You just kind of think through how to actually structure it for your business. But how do I make this free? How do I make it free? Okay, so this is how I'm making it free. The very first time through the stack and the close, and I'm making it free.
Okay, here's some of the things you can get rid of the second you start using ClickFunnels. You can get rid of your landing page software. You can get rid of your split testing software. You can get rid of your shopping cart. You can get rid of your email autoresponders. You can get rid of your text message autoresponders. You can get rid of your automated webinar software. You can get rid of your affiliate software. You can cancel your membership site software. You can get rid of Photoshop. You can delete WordPress. You can get rid of your website hosting. You can fire your programmers, fire your designers, fire your webmasters, and a whole bunch more. Yeah. Those programmers, they just want to handcuff you. You can break it free. I was hanging out with Gene Graciosi, did $200 million selling real estate training. I was hanging out with him 2 days ago. He said we went from having a tech team of 8 people to 0 programmers now because of ClickFunnels. Saves them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, okay? Like I said, ClickFunnels should never cost you guys money, you guys. This should always be something that's free. Okay, like I said, the average person saves over $1,000 a month the second they start using it. Now some of you guys sit here and say, like, well, Russell, what if I already have a ClickFunnels account? I'm already a funnel hacker, this is awesome. Or you're like, I bought this last year, Russell, what do I do? Okay, so a couple things. First off, don't stress out. If you bought it last year, it means it's been 12 months, so your free thing is almost up, okay? Normally in the past, we do not let people have this offer again with another free year. For today, for you guys only, we give that opportunity, okay? So if you get started again today, we'll bump out your billing for another year. So that means you have basically 2 years for free because you're a 10x member. Is that awesome? Cool. The second thing, if you already have a ClickFunnels account, don't stress out. What we're gonna do is means we're gonna upgrade your account to the highest level and you get ClickFunnels for free for the next 12 months. Okay? So here's what you're gonna get so far. You're gonna get a 12-month account to ClickFunnels, total value of $3,564.
Okay, so this is the very first time we introduced the stack slide. So when we create the offer, like when I create a new webinar, the first thing I do is I create the stack slide. Right? That's why we talked about that this morning. We talked about the offer and the stack and like all this stuff. So I create the stack slide first. So this is the first thing. So you're gonna see me as I go through this. This is the foundation of the entire presentation now, is the stack slide. So here's the very first thing. They get ClickFunnels 12-month account for free, total value of $3,564. Okay, notice every time I introduce the next part of the offer, we come back to this, and we keep stacking it, stacking it, stacking it, and we're trying to anchor the value here, as opposed to like, again, like we talked about before, where they're just randomly picking the value based on one of the things they remember, okay?
The second thing we're gonna give you guys is access to not just one training course, but 2. Those who bought last year got funnel hacks. I'm gonna give you funnel hacks. It shows you how to go deep and how to get inside people's funnels, figure out, also if I showed you how to find out what funnels are working, how much money they're making, where you find these people, like help you reverse engineer so you know exactly what to build. And the second course, which we've never offered this before, is called Funnel Builder Secrets. This is what you give the person on your team is gonna be building funnels. If you're like, I'm not techie, I don't know what to do, give them this. This gives them all the technical information, all the training, everything they need to be able to build a funnel, okay? Inside the 6-week Funnel Hacks Masterclass, we're gonna go over a bunch of different things. We'll talk about opt-in funnels, sales funnels, webinar funnels, auto webinar funnels, product launch funnels, membership sites, and a whole bunch more. The cool thing about it.
Okay, really quick. Now, what all of you educators will want to do, notice I gave 2 whole courses. What you guys want to do is say, okay, module number 1, I'm gonna teach you this and this and this and this and this and this. Module 2, I'm gonna teach this. You spend like 8 hours trying to explain all the cool, amazing stuff you put inside of the training because you're so proud of it, because you want them to know how much value you gave them, okay? What that's gonna do is it's gonna overwhelm them. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of work, and they're gonna stress out, okay? In these 2 training areas, there's probably, I don't know, 30 hours, probably more than that, 40, 50 hours of training. Actually, it's still having more than that, probably closer to 100 now that I think about it. Like, there's a lot. So if I go through and break down every single module, what they're gonna learn, how it's gonna work, they're gonna be like, I can't do that, okay? I spend, you saw that, maybe 30 seconds talking about what's in it, okay? Very, very quick. I want them to know that, like, this is the key, this is the training for the result that they got, but I'm not gonna go into, like, right? Like, it's Alex Hormozy talks about this all the time. Like, you sell the vacation, you don't sell, like, you got to pack your bags and do a trip and like, the vacation is you're going to get 10x your business in the next 12 months. So I'm selling that's the vacation. I'm not going to sell all the stuff you got to do to get to that vacation, right? I'm just going to briefly touch upon so you know it's there, but we're not going to spend time there. Okay, this is one of the biggest things when people's webinars fail. Number 1, they teach too much in the actual training. Number 2, they go through and they try to overwhelm people with all the value they're giving them, which is a horrible idea. And then number 3, like, the offer sucks. So it's usually one of those 3 things. Okay, so again, notice how fast I went through that. Boom, like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, 6, and I talk a little bit more. You see, and I'm going to transition to actual testimonials about what they, like the end result they'll get from going through this process. Okay, and I spend 10 times more on the result than I do ever with, like, what's actually in it. Okay.
Training is that the first part of it is for you guys as the entrepreneur, as the salesperson. I'm gonna talk about the strategy behind what you're doing and why you're doing it. And the second half is the techie part. So if you don't want to watch it, you can bring your tech guy, your tech gal, they can watch it and they can go and build the funnels for you. And some of you guys, Russell, that's cool, but I don't have a tech guy or a tech gal. What should I do? We don't have a tech guy or tech gal. Send one of your kids. And I promise you, I'll make them the most profitable employee on your team. I say that joking, but Forbes Riley was here 2 nights ago. I met her for the first time right there. And she came to me, she said, Russell Brunson, and she gave me a hug, and she said, you have changed my life. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you're like real famous. I'm like internet famous. You're like a legit, like, famous person. She said, this is my daughter right here. So she's, I think, 15 or 16 years old. She said, she's built funnels for me, for Joe Theismann, for a bunch of people. It works. I've got twins that are 12 years old. Both of them have a ClickFunnels account. Both of them build funnels. Okay? This is so simple. Your kids could do it. So if you don't want to do it, bring them. Have them be your funnel hackers. Have them build the funnels for you. It works. Okay? Now, I have some success stories. People have gone through this. We got tons. I'm going to share a couple really quick. First one, this is Liz Benny. Liz was just like you. She's sitting in a room kind of like this, and she heard me talk about all this crazy funnel things, and she jumped all in. She said, and she built her first funnel. She said, with our new funnel, which is a webinar funnel, this month we got 35 new clients, $997 each. And now that we have the funnel perfected, we're on track to get 100 new clients this month alone. Is that awesome? I'm not that good at math, but 100 people, $997, like, that's a lot of money, right? Now, some of you guys looking at it saying, like, 100 grand a month, like, I don't know if I can do that. But I promise you, if you would have asked Liz that 4 months ago, 4 months before she launched this, she wouldn't have believed you either. I had those conversations with her, and she's like, I don't know if it's possible. And then she did it. Now, what's exciting is she did hit that. She hit $100,000 a month, and since then, she's hit our 2 Comma Club, which means she did what? It's 100,000 times 10 million, 2 Comma Club. She 10x'd it. This is the process you guys how to do it.
Okay, notice now, what a lot of people do, a couple things. Sometimes if they have a testimonial, they'll be like, watch this video, and they'll click play, and it'll be like this horrible shot iPhone video, someone in a room like, hey, I went to Russell's event and it was really, really good. If you have an opportunity to come to something like this, you totally should do it. It was awesome. And they play that, and it'll show like 25 clips like that. Okay, and what it does is it slows the momentum of the close and you die, right? So what I do instead, I said, okay, look, Liz, I know your story. And I said, in this part, I'm trying to explain this part. Can you, and I pre-write testimony like, Liz, is this true? She says, yes. Liz, can I use this? She says, yes. And then I put that testimonial in, and then I read it, okay? You can have videos in different places, but videos, you have to be very, very careful because they will slow momentum of what you're presenting, okay? And so I do not want to slow momentum. So I go through here and I have Liz approve the testimonial, I get it right, and then I read it, and then after I read it, I don't stop and move on to the next, or I don't quickly move on to the next thing like a lot of people do. They get nervous, they move on. I stop and I start doing a whole bunch of trial closes. Like, isn't that awesome? Did you guys see what she just did? Now I don't know about you, but can you imagine if that happened to you? And I start doing all these trial closes, and I try to reinforce that testimonial. Okay? Testimonials are the most magical things we have. And most of us talk about it and we move on to the next thing. It's like, no, make sure they don't miss that. Like, reinforce it, trial close it, push it down, like make it so solid that they don't miss it, right? A couple other things. Remember we talked about earlier, like vehicle-based, internal-based, external-based. So if you look at my testimonials I selected for this as well, Liz is very vehicle-based, right? I had a webinar funnel and I made a bunch of money. You'll see the next one I transitioned to is Mike Stanzik, which is like, well, I don't know how to do this. I'm a newbie. I don't know how to make a funnel. So the second testimonial is very internal-based. And the third one you'll see is very external. So my testimonials are also matching vehicle beliefs, internal beliefs, external beliefs, okay? So I'm picking those ones because there's a million people I get testimonials from. I find the right ones that are gonna keep knocking down the barriers that are keeping my people from moving forward. Okay, so that was Liz's. Notice on the next ones as well, same thing. I'm gonna tell the success story. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna trial close. Like, isn't that awesome? I'm gonna try to like push people into it to make that really solid, make it real, and then I'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so notice that. And then the last one, I do show one video testimonial here, but you'll notice it's very short, it's very tight. We cut out all the fluff around it to make it very, very fast. But typically I wouldn't show a video in there unless you've done a ton of editing just to make it short and compact and tight. And so that's kind of the last one here. So I'll kind of let us watch the next ones without me interrupting each time, but those are the concepts I'm looking at as I'm doing this. So notice that as we're kind of going through them.
Yeah, 2 people got it. All right, number 2, this is Mike Stanzik. Now Mike was the greenest green newbie I think I've ever met, ever. I'm talking about these things. He's like, I don't know what Russell's talking about. He's like talking really fast. I don't know what funnels are. I don't think he knew what a website was. But he's like, I'm all in. I don't even care. I'm in. So he jumped in and he went through the training, said, I've never had an actual funnel before. Click funnels. I followed Russell's instructions, set up my sales funnel, bought my first ad, and on my very first try, sold 8 people on my front end, and 2 people bought my $197 upsell. That's awesome, right? Some of you guys are like looking like, he made $400, Russell. That's not that big of a deal, right? What kind of success story is that? But I want you to see what he said. He said, on my first try, how many of you guys been trying to get this internet thing figured out for a while? How many of you spent more than a month or 6 months or a year or more? Would have been worth to you to be successful on your first try. It's worth a lot. Okay. Next is Simon Cryer. Simon lives down in Australia. Simon, he said, I followed the funnel hack system. I found a funnel I liked. I modeled it. And on my very first test, we doubled over on our ad spend. Put $1 in and $2 back out. Now I share this one because people always ask me, Russell, my funnel's done. What's my advertising budget? I spend like $1 million a month on ads. I always smile and I'm like, let me ask you a question. Okay, let's say you followed the funnel hacks process the way I showed you. You found a funnel that worked. You modeled it. You start driving ads. And you put $1 in advertising in on Monday, and you get $2 back out on Tuesday. What do you think your budget should be? They go, well, if I put $1 in on Monday, I get $2 back out on Tuesday, I want to put in $1 million a day. I said, exactly. Like when you have a funnel that works, you don't have an advertising budget. Okay? People ask me, how are your ads everywhere, Russell? I don't have an advertising budget. I can spend as much money as I want all day long, every single day, because every one of my leads pay me before I introduce them to ClickFunnels. That's the key, you guys. That's why this is so powerful. If you want to 10x your company, if you want to destroy your competition, this is the key. This is how it works. Okay? I got a really quick, one last video I want to share with you. This is from Drew Canoli. He's the owner of Organifi. He's the one who went on, and I told you that we 20x his company year number 1 through the funnel. This is a quick video from him. I want to share with you because you understand that business isn't just about like money. That's awesome, but it's about the lives we affect. I want you to hear from him how many lives are affected because of his funnel now.
Do you want to give you kind of your experience about the funnel stuff that I went through with you guys?
Absolutely. So, what was it? About 4 months ago, I bought the book, 108 Split Tests, and I was looking through this book, and I'm like, this book is just loaded with goodness. I'm like, in the back of my mind, being a visionary, you know, you have all these ideas as entrepreneurs, right? Everybody in the room has 1,000 ideas. In my mind at the time, I was like, what if Russell could come here and help the Fit Life TV team build our supplement funnel and the different things that we're creating. Because at the time, we were doing well, like Jamel said, over $1 million every year, but we wanted to 10x it and take it to the next level. So Brunson came out. He spent the entire day with us. He just blew our minds of the content that he was delivering, and we were in our conference room. We didn't even have a whiteboard in the conference room. Poor guy was drawing on the windows in this place, and he mapped out the entire strategy, the entire funnel, for the product launch that we just put into play, and literally within 2 weeks. I mean, we 10x our business or more. And we have pre-orders coming in now that's essentially going to pay for all of our product for like the next year and a half. It's ridiculous. So I believe in it. I think it's absolutely amazing what he teaches. What he's telling you guys to do, it can radically transform your business if you just listen and follow with it instead of trying to be creative and, putting your touch into it. Follow the pros that have been doing it for over a decade. And that's exactly what we did. And now we're not only making more money, but our mission and purpose here is to transform 10 million people this year. And we're well on our way to do that with physical products outside of just digital. So you're touching those lives through us, my man, and I want to appreciate you for that. So thanks.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Very cool. All right, notice I said 10x like 3 times? That wasn't even planned, but there you go, 10x. All right, some of you guys out there saying, Russell, this is cool, but I'm kind of in the startup phase right now. I don't have a product yet.
Okay, so now I want to talk about what I'm doing right now. So as I was doing this webinar every single week for like a year of my life, every time I get this part, people always say, well, Drew had a supplement, so this works for him. Or so-and-so's got a product. I don't have a product, so I don't have anything. So like that concern kept coming up over and over and over and over again. So I went back to the offer. I'm like, okay, I need to add something in this offer that makes that concern disappear, right? That's why it's so important to do these things live. And so I went back and said, okay, a lot of people don't have a product. I'm going to make a whole training program inside the training program showing them how to create a product. And so I did that, and I came back in this spot, because this is exactly where everyone would ask the question, like, that looks cool for Drew, but I don't have a product. And so I added this slide in, and then guess what happens? All those people say, I don't have a product, disappear. Okay, I don't let them have that as an excuse anymore. Okay, because that was something that was holding this domino up. So I'm gonna add this to my offer, I'm gonna add it into the slides, and now that thing disappears, now the domino can continue to fall down for those people that have been waiting, okay? So that's kind of what's happening here.
If you have a product yet, don't stress out at all. In fact, in the training, the very first thing we go through is like how to get started without a product, okay? There's 2 specific trainings. The first one is talking about opt-in funnels, how we build lists and build leads. Okay, I've got tons of friends who make over $1 million a year who don't even have their own product, okay? You don't have to have your own product. You can do this by generating leads, selling your product, selling other people's products, sell Grant's products, sell my products. Like, you don't have to have a product. So the very first one shows you how to build huge email lists so you can sell other people's products. So if you don't have a product, go through that training first. And if you want to create a product, you have no idea how to do it, we also have a fast product creation training that'll show you exactly how to get your product, entire product line built out in a weekend, okay? So if you don't have a product yet, that can no longer be an excuse for you. It's forever gone, because now we solved that problem for you as well. Okay, so here's a recap what you can get. First thing you're gonna get is the ClickFunnels 12-month enterprise account for free. Then you get the 6-week Funnel Hacks Masterclass, the Funnel Builder Secrets, total value $6,561. So what else do you guys need to be successful? I wanna make sure that there are 0 excuses. I want every one of you guys to 10x your company next 12 months, so I want 0 excuses. What else do you guys need? Oh, what about more traffic? Okay, now I told you guys before about one of my ways I get traffic, which works really, really good, but there's a lot of ways to get traffic. I also shared with you guys a story about John Reese and his $1 Million Day. So when he made his $1 Million Day, he was selling a course called 10xsecrets. And traffic obviously changes throughout the year. So a couple months ago, John went back through and rebuilt the entire training program and actually bought a copy from him. And it was like insanely good. He didn't go through like 1 or 2 or 10 traffic sources. He went through 125 different ways to get traffic, which I didn't know that was even possible. And I went through the training. I was like, dude, this is insanely good. And I called him up. I'm like, John, I'm going to be speaking at the 10x event. Can I give everybody in the audience a free copy of Traffic Secrets? And guess what he told me? He said no. I was like, what? Dude, everyone needs this. This is free, unlimited leads for the rest of their lives. He's like, I know, but this is my course. I sell it. I was like, okay, what would it take for me to be able to buy the company from you so I could give this to free to everybody there? And he was like, dude, you can't, I don't just sell my, and we went back and forth. And recently I actually paid John just shy of $1 million. Check this out. These are actually the wires. It took me 7 wires. Apparently banks really can't wire $1 million into one. So these are all the wires. 7 wires were sent to John. And I bought the Traffic Secrets company from him. So I own it. So thank you very much. Grant told me I had to 10x my offer, so I wrote $1 million checks. There you go. Anybody who gets started today, you also get lifetime access to Traffic Secrets for free. Now, I recommend don't try to do all 125 traffic sources at once. Pick one, implement it, drive into your funnel. When it's working, then do the second one and keep doing that until you got so many leads that all your competitors are dead or gone or whatever that works, okay? So what you're gonna get, it means you're gonna get ClickFunnels, a 12-month enterprise account, ClickFunnels, 6-week Funnel Hacks Masterclass, the Funnel Builder Secrets. You also get Traffic Secrets, total value of $8,558.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. I wanna address a couple things. Number one, if you notice how the offer is being built out, right? Vehicle, internal, external. The vehicle is I've tried to convince them they need funnels, right? So boom, there is the ClickFunnels account. It gives them like, now you can build funnels, right? Then the middle one is like, well, I don't know how to do this. Internal belief, okay, here's all the training so you can actually do it. External, I don't know how to get traffic. Now we give them traffic. So I've already given them something, again, more things to knock out all those barriers so the domino keeps falling down, okay? Because these false beliefs keep creeping up. They've had their whole life. I've tried to destroy them, but they're gonna keep creeping up. So now this knocks down those 3 things again. It just keeps coming down, okay? Number 2 is that, I did a whole training for my 2 Common Club X members about this just yesterday, or 2 days ago we filmed it. But the key is like, when you're creating any kind of webinar, offer, product, right? It's all about, you have to have a really good hook, you have to have a really good story, and then a really good offer. Like that's how this works, right? Hook, story, offer, hook, story, offer. And so a lot of times people will think about that for like their webinar as a whole, like what's my hook, right? What's the story behind it, and what's my offer? But I also understand like the same thing happens with each of these different components here inside of it. Okay, you know, it's like Traffic Secrets. Like I could have just said like, hey, it's this thing called Traffic Secrets. You should buy it. It's gonna help you get traffic to your thing, right? That's like the offer. but the offer's not sexy. Like the hook and the story is what makes the offer so amazing, right? So what was the story? Like, why did I get Traffic Secrets? Like, I tell them the story behind why this component of the offer is so vital and so important, right? I went through and I told them the story like Traffic Secrets is the first product ever made $1 million a day, and I want to give it to you guys for free. There's the hook, right? So what's the story? Well, John Reese had this thing, he made $1 million, then he redid it recently, I went through it, it was awesome, I want to give it to all you guys, but he wouldn't let me, and so I had to buy the company from him, it cost me $1 million. I did that because Grant said I 10x my offer, so this is the whole reason, and now it's like, oh my gosh, Russell wrote a check for $1 million so I could have this for free. No, this is free, everything's free. Man, like that's now this powerful thing that happens in there, right? When you're creating the components of your offer, like making sure that every one of these components have a hook and a story that makes it interesting, right? And some of you guys are like, Russell, I don't have any stories like you. I didn't write a check for $1 million for somebody. I did a training with Jason Fladden a little while ago. And it was actually right before I did this presentation. I shifted this because of that. But what he told me, he's like, when I'm creating an offer, I'm just looking at like, what's the best hook in the story for all the different components. So he's like, recently, he's like, he did a training for e-commerce sellers. He was selling or teaching e-commerce people how to do funnels. And so he had all the training program. He's like, I don't have a good hook. He's like, so what's the, like, I'm searching, actively looking at it, trying to find the right hook for this offer. And he looked out, he said, okay, inside of ClickFunnels right now, the person's got the highest grossing funnel of all time. His name's Trey Llewellyn. He made $20 million in 6 weeks. Like, that's the best one ever. He's like, I'm gonna interview Trey and bring that as part of the training. And so he called Trey up. He's like, hey, can I pay you for an interview? And Trey's like, oh, we're buddies, man. I'll just give you for free. He's like, no, I need to pay you because this makes the story way better. So Jason wired Trey like, I don't know, $5,000 to get on his training so that Trey could like consult him on how to do it. And then he got this training. And now he comes in and said, look, I found this dude. This is the hook. The number one seller of all the ClickFunnels did $20 million in 6 weeks. He has the world record for the best-selling, highest-grossing funnel in the history of ClickFunnels ever. So one person's got that title, he's got it, and I got him to come on this training. Now, I actually paid him $5,000 to get him to show me all this stuff so that I could bring it now to you. And so instead of you paying $5,000, you guys get it for free as part of this offer. And all of a sudden, that one little piece now is worth $5,000. There's a hook, there's a story, and there's an offer all wrapped into just that one component. Okay, so if you're selling whatever it is you're selling, say you're selling marriage advice, go and find like who's somebody out there that's got an amazing story on that you can find. Like look at today's show, CNN, look at whatever, and like find that story. Pay the person for consulting, either they'll give you for free because now it becomes this really sexy, exciting thing. So prior to the 10x event, I would have this and like, hey, I actually bought Traffic Secrets from John Reese, and I'll give it to you for free. It's gonna be awesome. And then, Jason talked about that, and I was like, man, I have proof of it. I actually paid him money. Let me show the wires, and like I show all this stuff. Now all of a sudden, that component becomes so sexy that just that by itself, people paid $3,000 for. Okay, because of the hook and the story embedded with it. Okay, so every one of these things that you got to be thinking about: what's the hook, what's the story, what's the offer for each of the components of your actual offer. Okay, and if you do that, what's interesting is that the better you do at this, right? The more sexy the offer becomes, even though the price doesn't go down, the value of the offer becomes bigger, and so in people's minds, the value of the price goes down. Does that make sense? Okay, so the sexier the offer is, the more value I can provide up here, like perceived value in somebody's mind, the cheaper this gets, even though the price doesn't shift. Okay, that's the big takeaway what you guys want to have here. So notice that, like, when I did that, like, man, I could have pitched just Traffic Secrets alone and sold for $3,000 with that pitch. That's just one of the components you get for free when you buy this offer. Okay, so every single time I'm thinking through that as I'm creating this offer. Hope that makes sense. Hook, story, and offer. There's a hook for the webinar, there's a storyline for the webinar, there's an offer for the webinar, and each of the components inside of it, there's a hook, a story, and offer. Hook, story, offer, right? I did it with the 12-month account ClickFunnels. Who here wants ClickFunnels for free in the next 12 months? There's a hook. Right? Here's the story. I tell the story, and then here's the offer. You get ClickFunnels for free. And the next thing is like, now you got the funnel software, but how are you going to use it? Let me tell you the hook. Like, I created this really cool thing. The hook's not as good at that one as the Traffic Secrets, but every single one I'm looking for hook, story, offer, hook, story, offer. Okay? So that's something to start thinking through. Look at any things I sell. You guys always look like, what's Russell's hook? What's the story? What's the offer? And I'm doing this on all aspects of my marketing. Okay? Every ad I run, there's a hook, a story, and offer. Every email I send, a hook, story, offer. Every webinar, every presentation, like every Facebook Live, like I'm doing this over and over and over and over again, right? If I want someone to click on a link in an ad, what's my offer, right? If my ad sucks, my offer sucks. If I make an amazing offer, they're going to click on the ad. If my opt-in percentage on my landing page is bad, what's wrong? The offer, the hook, the story, the offer is not right? If I want to increase my conversion on my landing page, I need a better hook, I need a better story, I need a better offer. Why is someone giving me the email address? Why am I trying to get them on the webinar? What's my offer to make sure they show up on the webinar? Right? Hook, story, and offer. Like the more you guys think about that, every aspect of your marketing, it'll increase everything else you're doing. Everything will rise with that. Okay, because the better the hook, the better the story. It increases the perceived value of the offer, even though you're not actually increasing the price of it, right? You're not decreasing the price of it. And that's the marketing magic that happens here. Oh, I love this game. All right. Okay. So here's the stack sliding in 1, 2, 3, 4 components, total value. Now again, if I was to tell people right now, like this is what you're gonna buy, only thing they would have remembered was traffic secrets. Because I told them a good hook, story, and offer. But I come back and I'm like, so you're gonna get ClickFunnels for free. They're like, oh yeah, you can get the 6-week masterclass, Funnel Secrets, traffic. They're like, holy crap, I can get all this stuff. This is even better, right? Now they're associating everything with this price. Okay, I'm gonna keep going on.
What else do you guys need to be successful? Again, I want 0 excuses. I want everyone you guys to 10x the next 12 months. What else do you guys need to be successful? What about the copy? This is the part a lot of you guys might not know about yet, but copy is the most expensive part. Okay, for this funnel here, it cost me $20,000. Now, what is copy? Copy are the words that go everywhere, right? So there's the headlines on your page. It's what you say in the videos. It's the sales letter. For the upsells, it's the headline there. It's the videos. It's like all the copy are all the words. Okay, on the funnel pages, but also you have it in your ads, right? Like every single ad, you have to have copy, you have to have copy, you have to copy all the words in the ads, the headlines, the things like that, right? Then you have to send out emails. Like, what do you say in the emails? Like, I don't know. We send emails with someone who did buy or didn't buy. Like, what do you do? Those the emails as well. All that stuff is copy. Okay? Now, copy is probably the most expensive thing that you can that's out there inside of funnels. Like, it's crazy expensive. In fact, here's some sales letters I paid for recently. I paid $20,000 for this sales letter, $20,000 for this one. Oh, and by the way, that one didn't convert, so I got $0 back from it. 15 grand for this one, 15 for this one, 15 for that one, and 15 for that one. And typical sales letters anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 or more plus royalties, okay? It's expensive. So I got really annoyed by that because most people don't have that kind of money, and I need everyone having success with funnels. So how do we hack this? So we developed a new software program that I did not offer at 10x last year that is here today, and it's called Funnel Scripts. Okay? Now, funnel scripts are literally, it'll write all the sales letters, the ads, the emails, the webinar slides in under 10 minutes, and it's as good as most of the professional copywriters that I've ever hired in the past. Which seems hard to believe, but I'm gonna show you why it's true. So the first thing, after you guys sign up today, you're gonna log into Funnel Scripts, and on the left-hand side inside here, you're gonna see here's all the different scripts that are in there.
Couple things, by the way. You notice how I'm presupposing they bought? So after you guys buy today, you're gonna go back to your hotel room, you're gonna log into Funnel Scripts, this is what it's gonna look like. I'm not saying if, I'm saying when, after you guys buy today, this is what's gonna happen. I'm like walking through the process as if they've already done it. I'm assuming the close, right? The whole thing knows I'm always assuming the close when I'm in the close. Not like, hey, if you guys buy this, it's like, no, when you buy this, you're gonna get this. And when you buy this, you're gonna get this. Okay, I'm always assuming the close. And notice, by the way, I'm just gonna repeat it, hook, story, offer. What's the hook here? What's the story? And I'm about to make the offer, right? The hook, copy is the most expensive part. Story, I pay all these people, this one didn't fail, this one happened, da da da. Now we made an offer, which is this really cool thing called Funnel Scripts. It's to make it easier. And even inside this offer now, it's like, what's the hook? Like Jim went and like funnel hacked 1,000 sales letters and all this kind of stuff. And you'll notice that pattern's happening over and over and over again.
Ads, Facebook ads, emails, like you see there's tons and tons and tons of them. So you pick one of them, okay? So for example, I'm gonna pick headline. Now this is my partner with this in this project. His name's Jim Edwards. It's a picture of him. Jim literally went through over 10,000 of the most successful ads in the history of all time. All the way back from like the beginning of our founding fathers of direct response marketing up to today. And he went through and he built software. He says, okay, here's the top 500 highest converting headlines of all time. He said, look, if I took these two things out and asked you a bunch of questions, I could create this headline for them. I create a whole bunch of them. He did it for the headlines, for emails, for webinars, for ads, like for everything, right? Then you log into Funnel Scripts and you go scroll down here and it's gonna ask you some questions about your business. This is the headline one. So you ask your audience, your main topic, your main keywords, and you fill out this form, takes you 5 or 10 minutes, you click on the build button, boom, and it pops out between 150 and 500 headlines for you, the highest converting headlines in the world with your product and your services weaved into them. Then all you gotta do is just copy and paste it in your ClickFunnels page, and instantly you have the best headlines on planet Earth selling your products for you. Is that amazing? Yeah, and that's right there. That's just, look at those headlines. All those headlines that popped out that fast for me, okay? And that's just headlines. But the same thing for Facebook ads, for your emails, like all the copy and all your pages completely taken care of. And I'm gonna give you guys 12-month access to Funnel Scripts for free as well. Does that sound good? All right. Some of you guys are like, well, Russell, what if I already have Funnel Scripts? This isn't fair to me. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna continue to over-deliver. If you already have Funnel Scripts, I will take wherever you are now and we'll bump out your billing for an entire another year. So you get another year of Funnel Scripts for free. Is that okay if you over-deliver? All right. Okay, here's a recap what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the 12-month enterprise account to ClickFunnels, 6-week Funnel Hacks Masterclass, Funnel Builder Secrets, Traffic Secrets, Funnel Scripts, a total value of $11,552.
Okay, so for me, this is the peak of my stack, right? This is the total value here. Now you're gonna notice I'm gonna anchor it back to the price marinade, and then after that, I'm gonna switch over to the if-all statements. Okay, so my biggest goal now is I need them to believe that this is actually worth $11,552, and it is, by the way. I believe I need them to believe it as well, because if they do, when I ask them for 3, they have to say yes. Okay, so watch that now.
How many of you guys remember that number? We began this presentation, we talked about it. We talked about, I'm gonna ask you guys all for $11,552. And if you have that, I'm gonna give you guys the ability to 10x your company in the next 12 months. I know it, without a shadow of my doubt. I can 10x every one of your companies in the next 12 months if you have this process, you have this package. I know it. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna charge you guys $11,552, even though you all committed to it earlier today. But I have a question. Let's say I did charge you guys $11,552, and if all that this did was finally give you a funnel that was profitable, where you could put $1 advertising in and get $2 back out, would it be worth it? Yes. I don't think there's a person in this room who would give me 11 grand if I'd build a funnel for him. Okay? Now, if all that this did was help you to share your message, get your product, your service out to more people, would it be worth the $11,552? Yeah. Can I spend more than that a day on Facebook ads right now just trying to get my message out to more people? Okay? Now, if all this did was give you the ability to cancel all the monthly tools you're currently using, glue together your funnels, fire your webmaster, your programmer, your designer, get rid of all of them, would it be worth the $11,552 to free yourself forever? Yeah, the average ClickFunnels member saves over $1,000 a month, you guys. Okay, ClickFunnels should never cost you a penny. It becomes free, okay?
Okay, so notice, once again, 3 if-all statements. First one, if-all was all about the vehicle, then the internal, and then the external. They said, yes, it's worth $11,000, yes, it's worth $11,000, yes, it's worth $11,000. Now, between that and the price merit, they've told me that this is worth $11,552 at least 4 times, and they committed to paying that if I could convince them that funnels were the fastest way to 10x their company in the next 12 months. Okay, so now when I come back to sell them something, like they've said yes so many times. How many times have they said yes during the trial closes throughout the whole thing, like over and over and over again? Okay, I want them saying yes so many times, it's just like, yes, Russell, I believe you. This is it. It's worth that much. I know it's worth that much. I need it. This is the next step. The only logical step now is to give you money, and that's what they're going to do. Okay?
So when I was pricing this, I had 2 choices. The first option was go as cheap as possible and try to sell everybody in this room. The problem with that, though, is it didn't really incentivize me to stack on the value for you guys. Okay? Now, what's interesting is that since we've launched ClickFunnels, we've had 37 people who've launched companies try to beat us. 37 people. How do I know that? Every time someone launches, when I get 800 emails from everyone I know, dude, they're trying to, and the headline's always like, ClickFunnels killer, we're gonna take them out. And guess what they do? They try to undercut us in pricing. They're like, for $100 lifetime access, you can have access to our funnel builders way better than ClickFunnels. Guess what happens to those people? Those companies go under. Every single one of the 37 are now gone. You wanna know why? They can't support their members. Okay, I spend over $250,000 a month, every single month, just in programmers to make ClickFunnels better for you every single month. You will notice every time you log in, it gets better and better and better. Okay? We have over 120 full-time support people to support you. So if you get stuck or your technical person gets stuck and you're like, I don't know what to do, we have 120 people to back you up who will get on your thing and help you with what it is you're doing. Okay? So because of that, obviously it requires a little bit higher investment in you guys, but we're building a foundation for you to 10x your company. Okay? And so in exchange for a little bit more money, we can put more resources into guaranteeing your success.
Okay, so what I did here is, my goal is I want them to be okay with spending money, right? So literally by the time this part's over, they're like, yes, you should charge me more money, Russell, because I don't want this to go under, I don't want it to disappear. I'm willing to pay more money because I want this to happen, right? So my goal of this whole slide is getting them to actually want me to charge them more money, okay? And so that's kind of the 2 things. Option 1, go cheap and do this horrible thing, or number 2, let's build a business together and we can support you, we can financial, all this kind of stuff, but I gotta charge you more. You okay with that? And everyone's gonna be like, oh, of course, I don't want this to go away, right? If I'm gonna do this, I want this to be a good, solid foundation to build my life, my company, my business on. And so that's kind of the option now. They're like, yes, I need to be charged more because of that. So that's the goal of this whole slide, is to have them be okay with whatever the price is and be okay with me charging them more.
Okay, so my question for you is this. For each of you, for your company, for your business, what do you think one funnel would be worth for you? It's gonna be different for all you guys. But if you had one successful sales funnel, what's that worth extra? Is it an extra $10,000 a month for you? Extra $100,000 a month for you or more? Okay, if you know what that number is, how much would you pay to give you a funnel that's gonna make an extra 10 grand a month or 100 grand a month or more? How much would you pay to get that one perfect funnel? Okay, this funnel right here, my supplement funnel, cost me $29,000 to build this funnel. How many of you give me 29 grand if I gave you this funnel right now? Not many of you guys. All right, let me put this in perspective, okay? It cost me $29,000. Before I sold the company, it was making $17,947 per day. It's $500,000 a month, it's $6 million a year. The people that bought the company bought it for a lot more than the 29 grand. How many of you guys would give me $29,000 if I gave you a company that's making $6 million a year? Oh, it changes perspective, right?
Okay, what I'm trying to do here is, again, I'm trying to get people to understand, it's the same thing like the very beginning of the presentation. Remember, I showed them like the VC-backed companies we're competing against, spend $120 million in VC. And I'm trying to show them like, or you can have a funnel, like $127 million in funding or a funnel. Here I'm saying like, again, I'm apples orange comparisons. Like, you can either pay me $29,000 for, basically it's $6 million a year business is the price of the funnel, right? So I'm trying to do these different price anchors so that in their mind, they're just like, oh my gosh, like this is super simple. Like it's better than getting $120 million in funding. It's better than spending $30,000 on a funnel that's going to make me $6 million. Like when it comes back to 3, it's just like, oh, this is so cheap. So all these things I'm doing is trying to make it so that this price, whatever I end up selling this funnel thing for, becomes super, super, super inexpensive.
The funnel is the key, you guys. Okay. In fact, these little book funnels, they've been worth more than $127 million worth of funding to me. That's the power. You guys getting this? You guys took out $127 million in funding. I built a funnel. Quick.
Excuse me. Do you guys know? Are you guys getting this? I say that one a lot because it's like I'm asking them, their subconscious mind, if they're getting this package. You guys getting this? Are you guys getting funnels? Are you guys getting this package? But I'm asking them. I say something. Are you guys getting this? And it's funny is I talked to Natasha Hazlett about this as well. She does this all the time now too. She's like, you guys getting this? And people are like, man, I love how patient you are and how you want to make sure we're getting all these concepts. And it's true because that's what the people hear. But we're actually telling people subconscious mind, you're like, are you guys investing in this? Are you getting this? And you're like, yeah, I'm getting this. I'm getting this. And that's one of my favorite trial closes I use all the time.
Beat them, both of them. We're going to be the next ones too. Okay? So you can see right now, people are paying me $250,000 plus royalties just for me to set up a single funnel for them. Okay, that's the value what I'm trying to give to you guys here. You guys understand that? This will 10x your company faster than anything else you can dream of, faster than anything else you can do. It's better than hiring another sales. Like, this is the fastest way to 10x your company. So
here's me now throwing rocks at the red ocean, every other possible thing that they can think of to get that result, right? The big result will promise 10x in 12 months. I'm throwing rocks at, you can hire more salespeople, it's gonna be faster than this, like all these other things. And I'm not saying this is better, I'm saying this is a new opportunity. Like all those other things will not get you there. The only way for you to get that result is this new opportunity, okay? So I'm throwing all these rocks at all the other things that they think they might be able to do to get their goal, to get that result, and making it so those things just fall apart. It's like, look, this is the only option. If you really want that as a goal, it's the only way to actually get that.
You guys, the screaming good deal at the $11,552 that each of you committed to earlier today. Okay, outside the event, we sell this for $5,997. But because I truly believe and I truly want you guys each to 10x your company next 12 months, we're gonna give you access to everything I talked about today for just one payment of $2,997. Now, I want to put this in perspective. Yeah, it's always a good sign when they start cheering. I want to put this in perspective. If you go to clickfunnels.com right now and you want to get the count that you guys get for free for the next 12 months, it's $3,564.
Real quick, couple things. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Oh, sorry, I'm always, okay. Oh man. The one time I want to scroll.
Good sign they start cheering.
Okay, so a couple things. This is the first time that I share the price, okay? And so if I'm doing a webinar, from this point forward, I'm always gonna have a call to action link on the bottom. Now I also did it here. I don't typically do it in events, but they were also streaming this presentation live. And we ended up doing, I don't know how many, it was, I don't know, 100,000 or so in sales, people online who just saw the link right here and started buying it. So that's why I put the link here, because I knew that it was going to be streaming somewhere else, and so it was there. Like I said, in a webinar, from this point forward, I always have the call to action, because now it's like, now they know the price, now it's just me, now that the price is there, I'm just justifying why they should buy it. Now, what's funny is the first 10 years of this business, I would come all the way to here, and I would share the price, and I'd be like, I'm done, and I would end. And what's funny is that I would say 75 or more of my percent of my sales come from all this stuff that happens from this slide moving forward, okay? So I can't even fathom how many tens of millions of dollars I lost by stopping here in the past, but this is where most people stop. Here's all the value of this, go and get it, yeah, you're gonna love it, boom. But now, we did all this stuff like making them believe it's worth this much, right? So now we get this point, now they're like, oh, this is the thing. Some people, this is where a lot of people start table rushing, because they're like, I'm in, I'm ready. But now for the rest of people, now I have to justify that price. Okay, so now the second half of everything from this point forward is price justification, showing like this is actually worth that much, okay? And so that's how I'm gonna continue a flow of people running to the back of the table. Okay, like I said, what happened right here, I'm gonna notice people start getting up. Now, a couple things I wanna note about the 10X event. Like typically when I do this and I'm in a room, the room is a finite thing, and when I get to this point, like you said, like I mentioned there, I hear people start cheering, which is like, when people cheer when you show them the price, it's such a good feeling. So people start cheering, so I was like, oh, that's a good sign. But the room was so big, typically in a small room, you hear the commotion of people getting up and moving. So at that point, I get really bold, and I'm like, I give you guys permission, stand up right now and go to the back of the room. And I do that a bunch of times, and as soon as I see one or two people get up, I think I mentioned this earlier, so I see someone getting up and moving, I'm like, these people right here get it, and people will turn their heads and they'll see it. And so I'll do that. Now, at this event, I don't think I did this as well for a couple of reasons. Number one, there was a huge spotlight on my face, which made everything in front of me disappear except for the sides. In fact, it's funny, every time I watched the movie, like the spotlight would go down and all of a sudden the whole room would fill up. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people in here. Like every single time, like I forgot that till like the light went down. Number two is because the room is so big, it didn't have the same, like when you're in a tighter room, you hear the noise. Like there was no noise level because the noise disappears in this huge stadium. And so it was this weird thing where I wasn't quite sure if people were moving, and because I had to give people like 20 different call to actions, like there's a table over here and over here, and if you're in this section, like, and so I wasn't quite as bold here if I remember right, just because I wasn't super confident people were moving because it was hard to tell because I couldn't see them, I couldn't hear them. Other than cheering, I didn't know if it was going very well. So I may seem a little nervous or may not do my normal, like giving people permission, and that's the reason why. In a typical room when I see people moving, like if I feed on that energy, I'm like, you just have my permission, don't wait for me to be done. When you're ready and you want that, like stand up and get the back line. Like those guys right there, you see them? They already know what we're talking about. They're ready to go. When you're ready to go, go and do it. And then I'll come back to the price justification for all other people who are like, should I do this? Like they're texting their spouse, like, all that kind of stuff. Like I'm trying to now justify the price to them. Okay, so there's a couple things here. All right. So now that I showed the price, now watch me do the price justification to show that like that is actually insanely cheap.
If you go to clickfunnels.com right now and you want to get the count that you guys get for free for the next 12 months, it's $3,564. Okay, and you guys get it for free with your investment today. And this isn't something I made up. You go to clickfunnels.com right now, $297 a month. We have over 11,000 people right now on that plan. Okay, and you guys get it for free for the next 12 months. So when you guys are ready, this is the plan. In the packet we sent you guys earlier today, in the back, there's this little order form. And I also give you a pen. Pull out the order form when you are ready. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill out the form. That's step number one, fill out the form. Okay? You guys all have that in front of you. If you don't have it, steal it from your friend. They got one next to you. The second thing is you're going to stand up and you're going to run to the table. Now, there's a couple of tables we have strategically placed here inside this place for you guys to get access to everything here. The first place, the VIP members who are right here, there's a table inside of the conference room. We're going to be taking a 30-minute break. Inside there, you can take your forms in there. You get signed up. Everybody here on the bottom floor, there's 2 tables in the back. You can stand up whenever you want and you're ready to go back there. And then for everybody else up in section 118, we've got about 30 people out there. You can stand up wherever you're at. Go over there in section 118. Is the other place. That's where they're at. You're going to take this form up to one of the people on my team. They all got green shirts. You're going to hand them this form, and then they're going to hand you this right here. This packet right here has all the information you need to get your ClickFunnels account, funnel scripts, everything else we talked about. Okay? And that is kind of the game plan. Now, for all of you guys who are sitting here with me today, who've just heard me talk about this funnel thing, you've got 2 choices. Okay? Your first option is don't do anything. You're like, that was awesome, Russell. That was exciting. I know I need a funnel, but I'm going to go eat lunch. And you can do that if you want to. Okay? The problem with that is if you do that, then nothing's really going to change. Okay? We're not here to dabble and to think about it. We're here to 10x our companies, right? That's the plan. So your second option is this. Just pony up this tiny little investment today compared to all the value you can get in return. And just give it a shot. Just see if it's going to work for you. Okay? We have a philosophy here in my company that says if we can't make you money, we don't deserve yours. Okay? So we'll give you guys money back. In fact, we have a money back guarantee, 30-day money back guarantee. And the way it works is you sign up today. If you don't like us for any reason at all, I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from today, just let me know and we'll give you your money back. I want you guys to understand this is not about me. Whether you invest today or not, it will not change my life one iota. I'm not going to buy a different car. Nothing will change for me. But I promise you that everything will change for you. This is about you. This investment will change your business and it will change your life. So the question for you is this. Is it worth gambling just a few minutes of your time to check this out, which even if it only does half what I've claimed during today's trading, will literally pay for itself the second your very first funnel is live. So what are your other options? Other options, if you want to try 10x your company next 12 months, you could go back to college. I was doing some math on this. If you went to Stanford, it's $189,000 a year. And guess what your best case scenario is? Best case starting salary is $67,000 a year. It's not better for Princeton, Harvard, Cornell. So you can do that. You're not going to 10x your business. Or you can do what Alex and Layla did. Well, guess what they did? They got their butts off their seat. They stood up and they walked to whatever table they needed to and they got started. Okay? They launched their first funnel in April this year. And within a month, they passed the 2 Comma Club. And within 8 months, they made over $10 million. Okay, and the same thing can be happening for you when you guys are willing. Thank you. All right, so here's a recap. We're going to get a 12-month.
Okay, so notice that I shared the price and then I did a whole bunch of things to try to rationalize that price. Like if you go to clickfunnels.com, it's $300 a month over 12 months, and you get that for free for the next 12 months. And then there's this, and there's this, and then I throw rocks at the other alternatives. Like you can go to college if you want, but you're not going to get the return you're looking for. You're looking for 10x. Like college isn't going to work, and throwing rocks there. I'm trying to justify that price, and I'm doing all the different last things that I have. So I'm thinking again, it comes back to what we talked about earlier with the false beliefs, right? Where what page was it in the book again? Yeah, page 132. Like now that I've nailed the price, what are the false beliefs that they have? Okay, the false beliefs is that well, I'm gonna try something else, or it's too expensive, or blah, blah, or I'm gonna just go to the website and buy it for free there anyway, and they list out all the false beliefs, okay? And then I'm gonna quickly try to figure out stories really quick to break that. The Alex and Layla story, the college story, the other story. I'm trying to break all these false beliefs. Any other barrier that keeps coming up as soon as price pops up, oh, there's more barriers that pop up, right? I need to chopping those things down. If I had a longer format, there's like a whole bunch of other stories I could talk about, from financing stories, a lot of things I do in the Q&A section of an actual webinar that I can't do a live event that I will use to be able to knock down a whole bunch of other false beliefs as well, okay? And so that's the same process again here. Every time I reveal a new piece, new false beliefs are gonna pop up, and I'm just gonna start chopping those things down with as many little stories as I can, okay? And you notice I did like a whole bunch of these little closes, micro closes. All they are like quick little stories to try to knock down all the things that are building false belief around now the price. Okay, because that's the only thing left for people now that at this point I'm not going to be able to convince them on funnels or their belief or desire. Now it's the last thing holding up this domino is price, and so I'm just whacking away at that price, trying to show, again, initially the first part of the close was all about trying to show them the value of this thing. Okay, and now all the people that are running the back, they got that, and now what's left is like all people who are like trying to justify the value. Now I'm chopping away at the price justification people as much as I can, and hopefully as soon as I can chop those things away, boom, the domino falls, and that's when they get up and they run to the back of the room. Okay, and then I come back now again because now they got this price justification. They're like, no, what is it I'm buying again? And so then I come back to the stack slide again on the back side of it. Because now I got a price justification here, and I'm saying, no, this price is, let me show you again what it is. This is what you're getting again. And I just slap back on the stack slide on the back side of that. And now they're like, oh yeah, cool. It is all that stuff. Okay, now that actually does make a lot of sense, okay? So you notice how the stack slide's like, where we're sliding in every time there's price, we're popping it in front or behind so people justify the price with the actual offer and not like the thing that they try to remember the offer being, okay?
Price count, ClickFunnels, 6-week Funnel Hacks Masterclass, Funnel Builder Secrets, Traffic Secrets, Funnel Scripts, total value $11,550. But I got one last thing. I want to 10x what you guys are offering, a bonus. I'm making 10x bonus. So this is the bonus for those who get started during the break. This is only available right now during the break. When we come back from the break, it's gone. So it's time to get up and go. The first thing you're going to get is what we call our unlimited count. Inside your account by default, you have 70 funnels, 100,000 monthly visitors. Those who get started in the break, I'm not going to double. We're going to 10x this for you guys. So we're going to give you unlimited funnels. It means you can build 1,000 funnels in your account, and we're not going to charge you anymore. We're going to give you unlimited traffic in your funnels. You can get as much traffic. It's not going to cost you anymore. And also my priority support guys will have your back. That means if it's 3 in the morning and you're stuck, message them. A lot of times they'll log in your account, just do it for you, or they'll make you a video showing you how to do it. The value that's priceless.
As I transition to these are my urgency scarcity bonuses. I talked about this earlier, but earlier in the offer when I introduced ClickFunnels, I'm not sure if I did it here, but traditionally what I do is I'll say like your ClickFunnels account's going to have 70 funnels, this and this, and I introduce constraints to the offer. Because what happens, it's funniest thing is even people, if they've never had a business their entire life, the biggest fear is like, what happens when I go over 20 funnels, over 50 funnels, and they're like all afraid of like the what if this thing blows up and they don't want to stress about it. And so I introduced the constraints earlier in the offer. It's like, hey, with your ClickFunnels account, you can have this many funnels, this, and this, which is all really good. But there's always part of them that are like, but what happens if this? And so there's this constraint that's kind of annoying to them. And so usually my fast action, get them to do something now bonus is I'm lifting those constraints. Okay, so if you look at this. I introduced the constraints earlier. Hey, all you're allowed to have in your account is.
A couple other things.
There. Sorry, I suck at this part. Okay. Yeah, there's constraint on funnels, traffic, and stuff like that. So then here, the bonus, when you join during the break, I'm going to lift those constraints. Unlimited funnels, unlimited traffic. Priority support guys have your back, and the value that's priceless. But that constraint's only lifted if you buy right now. If you buy after the break, you lost it, right? And so that's what gets people like, oh my gosh, I got to hurry. There's a big line. They get up and they got to go to the back of the room. Okay.
Plus a couple other things. Anyone who gets started during the break, I'm also going to set you with one of my Quick Start coaches. It means when you get back home, you give us a call. Someone will spend an hour with you on the phone getting your funnel set up with you. That way you can hit the roads running fast. Next, we're going to give you, this is called the Funnel Hacker Cookbook. I brought about 1,000 of these. This has the top 22 sales funnels. The funnel you need to 10x your company is inside this book. I've got 1,000 here. Anyone who gets started today, I'm going to give you this book so you can take it home on the flight with you. The other bonus I got, this is my first 2 books on MP3 player. Anyone who gets started in the break, we're also going to give you these to take home. So on the flight home, you can listen to this and you can start understanding the strategy behind all these funnels. And then the last thing, inside of your kit, there's a golden ticket. What this golden ticket is I wish I could take a picture with every one of you guys. I got pictures with like 5 or 6 of you guys in the elevators today. I'm actually setting up a booth back here in section 118. And I personally, I come to events like this, I like to get pictures with the celebrities. So this is when Tony wanted to get a picture with me. Just kidding. This is when I got a picture of Tony. And I got to this event, I took this, I printed it out, I put it on my wall, and this became my goal. This an everyday reminder that I was going to 10x my company. I wanted to say to you guys, so I'm going to be back there at the booth back here. I want to get a picture with everyone who invests today. When you do that picture, I want you to put it on your wall and say, look, this is my commitment to 10xing my company in the next 12 months. Okay, so I have that. So I'm going to be doing pictures for the next hour or so back here for anyone who gets started in the break. The way you do this, once again, here's the unlimited account, Click Start Coaching, Funnel Hacker Cookbook, the audiobooks, picture with me. All you got to do to get all this stuff is basically step number one, fill out your order form right now. And most of you guys are running already. So fill out your order form and then go stand and run to the table. If you're in VIP, the table's right here. If you're here on the floor, the tables are back there in front of the cameras. And everybody else, section 118, which is over here. So you stand up, go out of your thing, and run over here because the lines are going to get big, I'm guessing, and I want to get you in the front. After you do that, then you have the order form. They're going to hand you back this packet. After you have this packet, open it up, go to number 118, and then hand the VIP ticket, get a picture with me. And after you get the picture, we'll also give you the Funnel Hacker Cookbook and the audiobook, all that stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, to end this out, you guys, thank you. So once again, and then I'll end, last recap, everything you're gonna get today, you guys, you're gonna get the 12-month account to ClickFunnels, 6-week Funnel Hacks Masterclass, funnel building secrets, traffic secrets, funnel scripts, the 10x bonuses, total value $11,550, you get it for $2,997. Thank you guys again for having me, I appreciate you. I cannot wait to 10x your companies in the next 12 months. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Whew, I got me excited. Who here is ready to go buy again? That was awesome. So as you can see at the very end of it, again, I had to like show them how to go and to purchase. Now in a webinar, you do the same thing. In a webinar, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up like, this is the page where it's gonna look like. A lot of times I'll even open the browser, like you're gonna go to this page, you're gonna fill in your credit card information, then you're gonna click submit, and then on the next page you're gonna see this, and like I walk them through the buying process. Okay, a lot of people just like kind of leave it to their own devices that like hopefully they'll figure it out. But don't overestimate people. Walk them through the process. It makes people feel more comfortable. In fact, one of my friends, he did a split test. He had an order form and people weren't buying, so he made a video of him on top of the order form. It's like, hey, his name's AJ. Hey, my name's AJ. I'm on the order form with you right now. Let me show you how it works. So you're gonna scroll down here and you're gonna fill out the form and it shows a video of him like putting in his name, email address, and then you're gonna click on this button right here and like walks him through how to fill out the form and like 3x his conversion rate on his order form. It's the funniest thing in the world. So that kind of stuff works. And so for me, again, in this room, I'm like, it's a complicated pitch. So like twice I think I showed the whole step. You're gonna go here, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go here. This is the whole process, and it kind of like makes it a little clunkier, but it was essential to be able to have people know where they need to go. You do the same thing online. You show them exactly what to do, how to do it, and the whole process behind how it works. And that's kind of it, you guys. And that's how we did the $3 million in 90 minutes. So a couple of things you notice from there. To get people to take action, again, we had the fast action bonus where we took away the constraints. We had a coaching call. A lot of people get stuck and they get nervous. And it's like, hey, there's a helpline. You can get a hold of somebody to talk to. And then the picture was a big part. You get the physical bonuses because people like to leave with something in the hand as well. And so all these kind of pieces like help to get the table rush. And then the second half now is then people come up to the back of the room and it's like, okay, there's stuff happening. Like that's what we had the pictures and we had this huge line. And those who were there, you remember, like it was crazy. I came through the back elevators and I came in, I walked in, and the line was as far as I could see both directions on the stadium, like 5 or 6 levels deep. I think we were there for like 3.5 or 4 hours taking picture after picture after picture. But it was a testament of how it worked. And I remember because I can't tell you how many of you guys came to me as you were taking pictures and like, John Reese broke the $1 million day, man. You just broke the $1 million hour. And it was fun at the end to see that it was actually 3. And so that's kind of the process, you guys. Now, a couple of the other things that happened afterwards, just kind of think through is, again, I talked about this earlier, but immediately went up to try to process order forms and process them all. We got the ones who failed, and we tried to give people ability to buy while they were still at the event, which is such a huge thing. The second day, Grant luckily allowed me to come back on and do a repitch when I was able to come back and do more of a logical close. You notice most of this close initially is so much emotion, right? It's the emotion and the price. And I'm like trying to knock out all the concerns as we were going with story and with all these things to try to make sure the domino knocks over and all these things are happening. But then what happens a lot of times, is that people will get home and then they'll sit there and they'll second guess themselves and they'll think about all the stress of that kind of thing. And that's when the logical close comes really well later. You come back and say, look, emotionally we got excited. A lot of you guys signed up. For those who didn't yet, and you're probably sitting in bed last night, right? And you're thinking about it and you're right. You know it's the right step, but there's something keeping you back. I want to talk about this logically with you guys for a few minutes, right? Like logically you know this, logically you know this. And like you get those people now who are like logically, like, okay, now they're gonna push themselves over the edge. Okay, and so that was a big piece of it as well. And then we made another special offer, which was like you get access to this training class to be able to come see it. And that helped get, again, another $250,000 in sales for us pushed through because of this bonus that you guys have been experiencing today, which hopefully has been super awesome for you. So that was kind of the process, you guys, and it was so much fun to do. And I hope, hopefully, first off, you guys enjoyed the experience of the presentation, but hopefully you've enjoyed this as well to kind of see behind the scenes, like what the magician's doing behind the scenes, right? And it's not magic, it's just a couple pieces. So if you look at this, I'm gonna move this out of the way real quick and just doodle a couple last things just to kind of go through this with you guys. Like the process is really simple, right? Like when I'm doing this whole thing, if I'm creating a presentation, the first thing I'm trying to figure out is the offer. Like what is it I'm actually gonna sell? Okay, before I sell anything, this is the first thing. We have a whiteboard and we list this out. And what I typically do, we have a big old whiteboard, write down every, like, actually, let me step back. It's the offer that's going to get people the result, right? So what's the result I want to get for people? Okay, so that's the first thing. It's like, what's the result? So for this event, we're like, okay, we're going to help people 10x their business in the next 12 months. That was the result we want to get to them. And it's like, okay, what do we need to do for them to be able to do that? Okay, and I talked about, like, for this offer, we had a 10x our offer. So like we added a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't there prior, right? The year before, those who were there the first year and second year, the offer was different. It got better because we were sending for a whiteboard. Like, what else can we give them? What else can we give them? Like, what if we gave them funnel scripts? What if we gave them traffic seekers? What if we gave them, like, what's all the stuff we could give them to help them to make sure they can hit that result in the next 12 months, right? So we create that offer. So if you want to figure out how to do that, go back to the first training video today. We talked about offer, right? Then after you have the offer figured out, then it's come back, okay, here's the offer, there's the result that we're going to get them, okay? And what's the result? And then this ties into, like, what's the new opportunity that we're presenting them to help them to get this result, okay? So we have those two things. And then it comes back, okay, this is a new opportunity. What's the origin story that I have to help them believe that? And then I'm like, hey, what's their false belief about the actual vehicle? So and I got to figure out the story about that. And I got to figure out what's their internal false beliefs. So I have the story there, and then I have their external false beliefs. Okay, and after I transition those things, then I come and I make an amazing offer, which is this. Okay, and you do it in a way that's going to provide the value. So you go through, you do the stack where it's like, here's the thing you talk about, here's the thing you talk about, and stack the whole thing up. Then you do the price. So here's the pricing. Then we do our if-alls. From the if-all, then we drop the price down to the actual price, and then we got to price justify, PJ, price justification on that price, kind of knock down the things. And if we do this right, then the domino will fall down, they'll get the special offer, they'll be able to get the result, and we'll have a chance to change their life. And for me, that's all that business is, right? The business isn't the product, it's not the thing, it's the customers getting the results you're promising them. And so for me, it's like there's no better system or process to get somebody a result than this. That's why I've dedicated so much of my life, the last decade of my life, trying to figure this thing out. That's why I went, and after I wrote the .com Secrets book, I told everyone I will never write a book again. But I was watching .com Secrets that helped people understand funnels and funnel strategy and all that kind of stuff. The biggest thing I found is that people weren't selling stuff, or they weren't making the money and the impact that they wanted to because they didn't understand this piece of it. And I was like, fine, I'll write another book. I don't want to, but I'm going to do it. So I wrote this book, and I put a year of my life into this because it goes through this whole process. So for those of you guys who are listening to this, if you haven't read the Expert Secrets book yet, go into it, go deep. It's going to go, all the stuff we talked about, like just different angles and things I can go deeper with the book than I can in a live presentation. But master this. It's worth it. Okay. Again, I want to rewind back to where we started. Like when I first got into this game 15 years ago, and I'm sitting at Armor Morton's event, awkward with my shaved head and my glasses, with my notepad. I didn't want to be a stage presenter. I didn't want to sell stuff from stage. I didn't want to talk to people. I'm super introverted, still am. I didn't feel comfortable. Like all those things are so true. But what I did want is the same thing I think all you guys want. This. We have customers. We care about them. We know we have a product or service that gives them a result, and it lights us up to give them that result, right? And so for me, it's like I had to learn this skill set. I had to understand it. And was it worth it? Yeah, for a lot of reasons. Number one, the money's great. I'm not gonna lie, right? We did $3 million in 90 minutes. 30 days later, we did over 10 million. But I have enough money now that it doesn't really matter. Like, there's a point in your life when your house is paid off, your bills are done, you got insurance, like whatever. Like, there's not much more I can do with money. That doesn't really matter to me. For me, at this point in my life, it's about the impacts. Like, was it worth it? Like, yes, it's worth it. I'm financially free forever. But what's really worth it is this. I looked at last Funnel Hacking Live 2 weeks ago. We had 258 people get a 2 Comma Club award, meaning they made at least $1 million. We had 15 who got a 2 Comma Club X award. I watched as thousands of other people have launched and transformed their businesses. And for me, like, that's the result I want for them. That's the biggest thing. And so for you, it's like, that's what should fire you up. And it's worth it. Is it worth getting out of my comfort zone to learn how to present? Is it worth me like learning how to do this stuff? Yes, because it'll financially make you free, but more important, it'll give you the ability to change people's lives, to give them the results that they want. And that's what you'll find out long-term is what matters the most. The income, stops firing up pretty quick, but the impact lasts forever, at least so far. And enjoying this whole process. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Appreciate you all. Now I'm ready for you guys. I want somebody else to break my 4-minute mile. So now you've got the system, you got the blueprint, you got behind the scenes. Set that as a goal, because the first person who does that, it'll be a lot of fun. I want somebody to break this barrier. So there you go. $3 million in 90 minutes. Now there's your new 4-minute mile, you guys. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you guys all again soon. Bye, everybody.